triples, quads right there. Machine gun. If you double up the audio, holy hell.
I got something for your mom. I got something for your mom.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's a Tuesday throwdown situation here today. Kind of a throwdown situation. And a Jake and Joe situation. And we're live. And there's a bunch of stuff sort of to talk about. And so we're just going to go into all that stuff. I was coming on here anyway to just sit here. And I was just going to look at the chat and be like, all right, let's talk for 30 minutes. See what happens. And whatever. But on a cherry on top bonus that tickled my bungus, Jake hit me up and was like, "Oh, I want to record." He said it last night actually, but he also synced up right when I wanted to go live anyway. So talk about friggin' lucky.
I know. I jumped out of the ambulance, crawled out of my hole, and here I am.
Oh, speaking of hole, did you know Batman's going bisexual?
I know Robin's gay, Batman, and Superman fell in love with a guy. Hey, good for him. But all joking aside, I'm okay with the gay, movement having gay superheroes, but come up with new heroes. Why do you have to retcon the story of previous heroes to fit your agenda?
Very strange.
Superman was never gay, so turning him gay doesn't make him brave or stunning, or it's just to
it confuses me.
Exactly, it's not what it should be. So it's very make gay heroes. There could don't retcon and change the story again of other already laid out and established heroes. It's ridiculous.
Hey, check this out. Hey, Jake, listen to this. Ready? I just thought of this. In a world where Superman's gay, Lex Luthor is gonna have the kryptonite shoved up his ass. But this time, willingly. That's right. Superman is back. But this time, Clark Kent takes it up the ass. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh my God, what is that?
That's the police chief getting called down to the gay bathhouse because it's a bloodbath. Superman orgasmed and it was faster than a locomotion. Those poor gentlemen never stood a chance.
Excuse me, are you Lois Lane? Yes. I thought so. Are you Mark? Yes. I thought so. Superman returns, but this time he returns more progressive than ever. Can you imagine wanting to fuck everyone you ever met? Plus, they're all aliens. And I don't mean the illegal ones. I mean Superman's from a different planet. And all these humans are from Earth. So not only is Superman an alien to this world, but he also will drop it in any hole that will pop lock it. That's right. This summer, 2022, Superman takes on all pussy, all ass, and one of the most incredible. All right, we're getting way off topic here. I'm sorry. But, it was exciting to do that for a few minutes. I'm excited about Bisexual Superman because, finally, Jake, when I was a kid, here's the thing.
When I was a kid, we were all assumed Batman was gay because he had a bunch of little boys.
What?
In his, Batman always, come on, I love Batman, but him having Robin as his sidekick, these young men that learn martial arts and fought crime in tights.
Yeah, and weird and bats are just they're gayish anyway, right?
Yeah,
let's be honest, bats. Yeah.
His mother died losing a pearl necklace. It wasn't actually jewelry.
Yeah,
That
I think it was
supposed to
his
be a
dad's
euphemism for,
cockboy.
so
Yeah, I think the pearls were his dad's, and I
that
think
it
to
was
save face.
but it was his dad giving the mom a pearl necklace in an alley. The son walked out, and what happened was Bruce was like, "Dad, what are you doing?" And the dad was finishing the pearl necklace. He turned towards his son, blasted him in the eyes, blinded poor little Bruce Wayne. And that's when the man that was supposed to be filming all of this got nervous because he saw the man basically finish on a child. And he's like, "Oh my God, you sicko." So he killed the woman and the guy, not knowing that that was the boy's parents and that it was an accident.
Right.
And that's how Batman started. So I can understand Batman being a little off.
And Robin, even like, it doesn't mean Robin like the bird. It means like Rob in the cradle, like Rob in the.
You figured it out. I mean, that's the Riddler solved that right away too. But
yeah, the question mark is will the come? That's the question mark.
My poor wife.
What do you mean? What is she hearing this?
Yes.
Why? Why would you let your wife hear this?
No, she's in just utter glory of my brilliance.
Oh yeah,
in storytelling.
Well, soon that Batman logo is going to be rainbow, though.
Well, that's the thing, and I that's the thing. I'm all for gay pride and having, but don't retcon and change characters because you suddenly need someone for National Coming Out Day.
Yeah,
You're
but
like,
you know what?
We can't create our own, so who can we use? Oh, Superman can come out now.
But I just want to say again, I was a little kid, and listen, I'm married to a woman, but the bottom line is when I was a child and very vulnerable and confused, I saw Superman lifting all those people with his muscles and everything, and I thought to myself, as a child, I didn't know what I was. I didn't know if I was straight, gay, bi. I don't know. I just knew I wanted to be fucked by Superman. Like, I wanted to feel Superman's cock and him to hold me up high into the sky and fly me away. I wanted to be Lois. I wanted to be Lois. So I'm just saying that, listen, I'm happy that now every little boy out there can be like I was, except for this time it's acceptable. Because I was a kid, and I'm like, well, no way Superman would ever want to fondle me because he's looking after women. He's looking after Lois. He's looking for Lois. He's got a boner for Lois. I don't look like Lois.
Lois is a cover.
Right, but now, yes, and now I wish I could just go back to myself when I was younger and pat myself on the head and say, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay because soon he could. Now I could have sex with Superman. There is a chance.
He could have rescued you.
And now I want to buy the comics again.
You could be singing WAP in an alley, start getting robbed, and then Superman will save you.
Right.
And then while he's flying you over the night sky to bring you home, he squeezes you in this tight, loving embrace.
Oh.
You look at him, muscles gleaming and glistening in the moonlight.
Oh, my God.
As he lifts you through the clouds, your nipples become fully erect.
Oh.
As I said, faster than a speeding bullet for a reason. Joe just finished 5 times before Superman's feet.
Man, I got so aroused. I got more aroused than John Gruden calling somebody of a different color big lips. Let me tell you.
Who's not over? That's
that?
Big E. He's not a draw. Raw. I haven't watched it. You've barely seen any of it, it sounds like.
Not really. I saw 30 minutes of Raw the other night and I wanted to die. I was like, nope.
I was unable to watch it. I heard what happened. Can they get along? Will they get along? And they continue with the King and Queens tournaments, showing no respect to the women. You wonder why. But getting that low of a rating, I'm shocked. I mean, I shouldn't say shocked, but I am surprised because the week before were not as bad. So I didn't think it would come this low this fast.
Oh, man, I'm gonna clip that. I mean, let's be honest.
That was set up straight for you.
Well, I don't like straight, but.
Well, a little crooked.
Ugh.
But yeah, talk about secret identities. Vince is Tony Khan. That's his alter ego.
Oh my God, where is that clip that you sent
Vince
me?
in a mask,
dude? He'd have to have removed his balls to be Vince McMahon. Tony Khan has no nuts.
On the ECW appreciation after Dynamite in Philly, they did this little thing where they brought out everybody: Jerry Lynn, Taz, so on and so forth. And CM Punk comes out there saying, I was even ECW champion, kind of being funny about WWE's side of it. And Tony Khan tries to sound cool at the end, and his voice cracks. Poor guy, but
it cracks every time.
It's hilarious. Every time he screams like this, though, it just...
Here you go. For everybody that didn't hear it, here you go.
Thank you so much, Philadelphia. It's been a great night. I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't wait to see you again. Happy anniversary!
He controls the YouTube. Why not clip that happy anniversary out? I would have cut that.
It's weird. It's funny and like horrible and funny, but at the same time, I don't know. It's visceral, like real. So like I like it in a way, but it is funny. I do like it, but it is funny. Here you go. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm glad I was able to clip it finally.
Thank you so much, Philadelphia. It's been a great night. I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't wait to see you again. Happy anniversary!
I get what you're saying, too, because it's so much. My voice cracks in that Jericho video, because I was so excited and like I was screaming so much beforehand that my voice was so shot. So I'm yelling and it's like, oh, but Jericho! And it's like just breaks. It's hilarious. So it's the same thing. It's that visceral reaction. You just have so much emotion and you're so excited.
Uh-huh.
And the WWE pulled it off that night because you had The Miz come out, and that was your big surprise for your Hollywood star. And then Jericho interrupts him, and you're like, oh, shit, you weren't expecting him to return at all. So it was a good bait and switch. You don't get much of that anymore.
I can't wait to see you again. Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary!
Yikes. That is...
that video is going to any... Actually, you know what? My wedding anniversary is coming up. So like, I'm going to have to send that to Leah. Go ahead and see what happens there. Alex Oli with a super chat.
Mine as well.
Chat party.
What up, Alex Oli?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Biggie is not a draw. How you doing, Jake Big D?
He's not a draw.
Baby? Yeah, Big E is not a draw, sadly.
But he's slightly more entertaining than some of the other recent champions.
He is entertaining. It's confusing as to now they split him from the New Day. Okay. But instead of letting him be a serious champ, he's still in New Day funny, silly mode. So then I don't know why they just didn't keep him with the New Day if they weren't going to have him be more of a serious, straightforward champ. So what we're getting with Drew seems very piss poor, face versus face boring.
It's awful.
Chat party.
Alex Oli again, love the banana.
Oh yeah.
Love the banana on the wall, Jake. Also your Batman.
Hell yeah.
And now the banana was that Shell or Sith?
That was from Shell. Yeah, that was a birthday gift from Shell.
Fucking fire.
Badass. Yeah, the banana shirt that says "Stay Sexy," a few other goodies as well. So my awesome Batman cup.
Food would have been better, Shell. Food would have been better, but thanks. The thought that counts.
Hey, I've been cooking like a fiend lately for everybody else in the house. If I can't eat it, I'm gonna make everybody else scarf it down.
Hell yeah! Listen, that's the way to do it, guys. If you want to donate, you know where the link is. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'm gonna take my dick out because you donated $50. You donated $50, motherfucker, boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Hey, before we get started, big shout out to Jake. Great seeing you again, and to Joe and the JCS Army. My music video is out and my new album Between the Lines is streaming everywhere now. Go check it out whenever you get a chance.
Yes, it is.
Much love to all. Gook socks.
Andale Peasy. Hey, wait a minute. Where did it go? Because maybe it's the post I saw. I saw his post at the front cover of what would be a CD if we still had those, and the back cover. Andale Peasy, man. Holy shit, dropping $50. Guys, go sub to his channel and give him some love. From Buffalo. He's one of our most talented rappers on this show. 2 days ago, he dropped.
Yeah, it premiered on the 10th. I watched it 2 days ago. It was really, really good. There's some crazy fire stunts in the video and whatnot, and it's got a hell of a hook.
I heard they killed a guy, too.
Well, of course. It's Andale Peasy.
You got to go give him some love, man. We got to get him to 250 subs today. Let's go. 250 subs for Andale Peasy. And I will attempt to, against his will, you know, I'll just say gape Superman. Look at this video. It's fire. It is literally fire. I'm going to come back to that later, too. There's more tunes on this fucking deal. He released a whole album. You know an artist, when they sit down and write, imagine sitting down and writing all this time and then making music and, you know, you're waiting for feedback, you know, and it's great to have 862 views like this video already does. But give him some love, man. Check out his other videos. Check out his other songs. Maybe you like one. Maybe you don't like one. Maybe you like the other one. Maybe you like all of them. I don't know. Go give it a look, because in the end, it's art and it's created by somebody. And if maybe it will speak to you, or some of it will. Maybe it won't. You know, I don't know. Go check it out though. Give it some love. It's just came out, and there's nothing more exciting than when you release art into the world. And when I put up a video, it's art. And I wait to see how that video is gonna do.
Damn straight, it's art. Speaking of art, what an hell of a knockout from the Gypsy King.
Holy shit, dude! That
third fight
was not maybe one of the best boxing matches in a while the other night.
That was exciting. That was fierce, competitive. I made sure not to have it ruined for me, and I was off social media. So when I got to watch it the next day, it was quite the event. I was very, very pleased with the turnout this time, as where the previous two bouts just weren't as intense or as interesting. This one, they really laid it all out. You could tell they were going for it, and the knockout, just Deontay was out of breath. He seemed to be out of gas. He kept getting hit over and over at the end there, and it just hurt repeatedly. And finally, he got beat down and knocked out, and that was crazy.
Dude, to see these guys knock each other out twice, and then or knock each other down twice, and then you know that they're about to continue.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what the hell? Like, that was really, I don't know, man. That was, boxing was dead for me. Like, every time I've watched a boxing thing recently, I've thought, this is just garbage. This sport is dead. Like, and I hate, and it's gone.
Well, especially the
Paul stuff.
The no knockouts, and, you know, this is just a technical endurance. It doesn't really count. There's no winners. We're going to have, Mike Tyson come back, but he's not really going to win.
Right.
And, those kind of things. Oh, the Paul brothers are dominating against people that have never boxed in their life, and now they're called the best in the world. And it just, so it felt like a farce, like a real joke.
Big gimmick thing, which is okay, because we're, I'm down with some gimmick and entertainment, but
some of it was okay and fun, but other things were handled pretty piss poor. I mean, they should have just kept it a straight up boxing match. There needs to be, it shouldn't have been an exhibition for all of these things. If they're going to face off, there needs to be winners and losers. I know they're trying to protect people in paydays, but that's not what boxing is. That's not the sport. You need someone to lose. You need someone to win. So,
well, that's like in the bedroom.
Yeah, Tyson Fury, hell of a way to really, come back from what looked to be like an almost surefire loss at one point.
Yeah.
So crazy and really entertaining match. That was great. That was a lot of fun to watch. The only real wrestling I've been able to keep up with is AEW. I just watched both the Rampages from the past 2 weeks. I have yet to see Raw at all, but I've seen SmackDown.
That's why you're still alive. If you'd watched Raw, you'd be dead.
That's what's keeping me here, is not watching Raw. Thankfully,
I tapped out. I said, the other night I was just so busy with so many different things, and I just said, nope. I just was like, nope.
People are, AEW never does rematches at all, and I mean ever. And sometimes it's a bit upsetting because we only get one match between people, and we're like, all right, this could have been a bit of a program. What happened? Certain times they do, but it's very, very rare. The only ones I could think of really for rematches pretty much was Jericho and Orange Cassidy, and some of the Inner Circle and Pinnacle stuff, but most of it involves Jericho getting rematches. Besides that, everybody else, you think of like Cody and MJF, that only happened once, and certain people facing each other, and even the Young Bucks and Omega and Hangman, that everybody reveres, that only happened once as well. So WWE every week's a repeat. It's constant. You get the same thing, and then for them to do a different spot, all it is the same matches you're getting, but now you have the quote-unquote unlikely allies. You have the two faces and the two heels who can never get along, and when everything breaks apart, and it's the same. So it's still the same thing. And that's why Raw failed so hard yesterday, because their idea of changing it up was only having the teammates of each side team up, and then they don't get along. So why would anybody feel compelled to watch that?
It's this Raw is a slow, almost go nowhere burn that nobody wants. Nobody wants to see, like, how many different ways can you put bubblegum in a wrapper? Like, no, that's not exciting.
Absolutely.
What's exciting is when you say, this bubblegum tastes like this bubblegum tastes like that, this bubblegum crackles when you eat it. You know, but WWE is just like, well, what we did was we took the gum and we turned it sideways instead, or we packed it differently this time. It's like, that's exactly, I don't even know, I don't even know what that kind of analogy that would be, but.
Happy anniversary!
Hear the whole thing together.
Much Philadelphia. It's been a great night. I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't wait to see you again. Happy anniversary!
Yeah.
So funny. So when I ever saw that, like, I have to record to send this to Joe.
Is he trying to do a Trump?
Khan is excited.
Is he trying to do a Trump accent, Jake?
I don't think so.
Listen, I swear to God, no. I think his real self comes out when he yells at the end. But
Yes.
before that, I think he's doing a Trump accent, or like he loves Trump or something. Listen, Ray.
It's Philadelphia. It's been a great night.
Philadelphia. Listen, Philadelphia. It's been a great like.
I can't thank you enough for being here.
I can't thank you enough for being here. It's like he's in some kind of Trump zone, dude. I'm telling you, Philadelphia. I can't believe you.
I think you're onto something.
I swear to
now
God,
that you
listen.
replayed it, it sounds like it. Yeah, it really does.
Thank you so much, Philadelphia.
Because that's not what he sounds like when he speaks. When he's in the back, he's like, "Well, we thought we would do like this is just different, man." He's trying to do the Trump speeches.
Thank you so much, Philadelphia. It's been a great night. I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't wait to see you again. Happy anniversary!
And he just can't hold it in anymore. He's like, try to do the Trump, try to speak like Trump, very elegant and everything, and he just can't hold it in. He's like,
well, his
so good
Tony
to be
Khan's
here.
inner child on Christmas came out yet again, because his birthday present to us all is announcing that Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, will be going up against Miro Suzuki this Friday.
yeah, I can't wait. 10-minute match, guy.
We'll see what happens, but it's going to be a bloody fest for sure. That's
Zero
what
interest.
we're
You know why?
Hearing advertised.
Zero interest, because I've seen this guy wrestle shit so far.
See, that's the thing, but he's a Japanese deathmatch legend, so it's going to be great. Well, they also announced there's going to be a buy-in, which is starts at 9 p.m. It's going to be on AEW's YouTube channel.
Jesus.
Where Dark Elevation is already broadcast, that same channel. This is going to be starting while SmackDown's already on. So they're going to start at 9 p.m. and then Rampage goes on at 10. SmackDown doesn't end till 10:30, and the last half hour has no commercials. So SmackDown and AEW are going head-to-head truly for the first time.
Well, I got news for AEW. You're going to get reaped.
Well, here's the thing. SmackDown's on Fox Sports 1, not Fox.
Yeah.
So usually they draw a much, much smaller audience on Fox Sports 1.
What's the number? Do you know? I don't know.
I don't know it offhand, but I know it's under 1 million. So.
What?
Yeah, Fox Sports 1, I believe, was 700,000 or 800,000.
Wait a minute, SmackDown is not going to be on Fox normal?
Not for the next 2 weeks, no, because of the MLB.
Okay, so here's the thing. I still think SmackDown will draw 1 million, if not more. I can't believe it's
well.
Only
That's why
1
they're
million.
pushing it with this no commercial, extra half hour, Brock Lesnar match.
All right, SmackDown's going to do 1.5 million or more. All right. Well, no, wait a minute. Didn't they just do that last week?
Last week they did close to a 2. I believe it was like 1.9 or 1.89.
Here's what I'll say. 1.2. I'm going to say 1.2. 1.2 million for SmackDown. 680,000 for AEW. That's my guess right there. Pen it in. Somebody pen it in. So SmackDown is going to crush AEW by over 500,000, if not more.
All right. The highest Friday Night SmackDown got was 1.03 million on Fox Sports 1. And that's when it was drawing a 2.2 on Fox.
All right. So they are in trouble. They're going to be down to around 1 million. But
typically, their average rating on Fox Sports 1 last year during the World Series was 888,000 viewers.
Oh, man.
Coming in at 5th place overall.
That's new intel. That's
And that's when they were doing a bit better than they are now.
Fuck. All right.
And that was when they were only
They
up
didn't have
against
Lesnar,
the
though.
Pac-12 championship game, not just that, not the World Series as well.
They didn't have Lesnar though, right? Those nights they didn't have no Lesnar.
That I don't know because I know they did some special stuff then too with.
They didn't
Roman
have no Lesnar.
I don't think they had Lesnar then, but they did when they went live. So I don't recall. I don't believe there was Lesnar, but I know they tried to do something special.
Okay, either way, right? I think I'm in agreement that SmackDown wins either way.
Yeah, because right now the buy-in is Danielson and Suzuki, and then Bobby Fish is taking on Lee Moriarty. So those are just the YouTube videos. And then the actual card is CM Punk taking on Matt Sydal. That'll be fun. Even though we've seen it before, it'll still be fun. Evan Bourne taking on CM Punk again. Then we're going to get Ruby taking on the Bunny. Okay. And then we're going to get Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos taking on Jericho, Hager, and Sammy, I believe, is the three.
Wow.
So it's basically the Inner Circle taking on Men of the Year and American Top Team. Sorry, my voice is shot as well. I apologize.
That's all right. We're just, listen, hey. SmackDown wins either way.
SmackDown has a lot going on.
Jeremy
they're
does.
They're really trying to lay it on thick, which I don't blame them as well. They know what's going on, going head to head. So,
Now, I'll say that SmackDown should hover around 800,000 again. Then, if that's the case, because just with Brock, I guess, is the only way that keeps him around that same old number. I don't know, but they're going to beat AEW. AEW just can't win in this time slot. They're just so bad in the time. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. The time slot works for the company. So I have for the station. So I have no, I don't have that. A lot of people have that beef, oh, how can they survive on? It's well, that doesn't matter.
Well,
you're thinking about beating WWE. TNT is just thinking about beating whatever bullshit show they were going to put on.
Exactly.
Without you.
And here's the thing. The SmackDown is also doing their supersize gimmick hosted by Big Time Bex or whatever she's called now. And Big Hole Bex is taking on Sasha Banks for the title. Finn Balor is going up against Fidel Castro, Sami Zayn for the King of the Ring semifinals. And then Carmella and Zelina are facing off for the semifinals for the Queen of the Ring. Sonya Deville and Naomi have a match. And I believe that's Sonya's first match since she's come back. So that's pretty cool. Rampage has everything we already mentioned.
All right, Tony. Will you shut up?
Happy anniversary!
We're trying to
Tony's
plug it.
just as excited, I guess.
We're trying to plug it for you, Tony. Man, only in a place with so much balls could somebody sound like they have so few balls.
I'm just shocked that the main thing they're going up against SmackDown with is Punk versus Matt Sydal. So Evan Bourne and CM Punk having a match, I don't feel like is the best thing they could have chose here.
No.
I would have gone against Pac, if anything, if you're choosing WWE people, and even that, fans want to see more than Matt Sydal.
You know what they should have done was a battle royal for $50,000. And then it's Malachi Black and CM Punk and a bunch of other people, and they advertise all the names, and then CM Punk wins, and then he donates the $50,000 to St. Jude's or something.
Well, that's why I'm baffled as to why they wouldn't have saved the ladder match with the Hangman return for now. I get they wanted it on the anniversary show, but if you wanted to go head-to-head against SmackDown, this is your moment. That's what you want. All those big names announced, and that was huge. That could have been a big draw for, especially with the Joker name being Hangman. So
yeah,
that's the thing. So I guess Brock Lesnar was even offering to lose against the WWE legends. He was saying in a recent interview. JBL was talking, saying that he was working with Brock Lesnar, and Brock in the back always says, I couldn't care less who goes over. If you win, I win. It doesn't matter. We're going to a place afterwards, and that's what I'm, telling everybody. So basically he's saying that Brock kind of eventually learned how the business worked and became less selfish. So you can see that as things go on.
Yeah, he's actually more intelligent, wrestling-wise, and people sometimes, I think, no. They think he's kind of like a big oaf who just wants money, but he actually has a lot of good ideas and understands how to sell and work things when he wants to. But it's
yeah,
just,
and don't forget, just like Alex just reminded me to remind you, I was about to bring up, is that Dynamite is this Saturday as well.
right, which is
Live.
weird.
Yeah, so we have the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament bracket revealed. Bryan's taking on Bobby Fish. Malachi Black against Dante Martin, which that I'm excited for. And then the AAA Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Bros, is going to be taking on a team chosen by Andrade for the AAA titles. So, hey. Okay.
That's
interesting.
I sold siding to a wrestling fan the other day.
That's always fun.
Yeah. In fact, he goes, I used to be a wrestling fan, he said. He goes, I haven't watched since that CM Junk guy. He cut that promo when he was laying on the floor or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, the pipe bomb promo from CM Punk. That's like one of the whatever. And the guy's like, yeah, that's when I stopped watching after that. That guy was kind of interesting, but he was small. I'm like, yeah. He goes, then after that, I just went, this is fucking retarded. And he turned it off. And the guy was like 50. So
hey, that about adds up.
Another
timeline.
Another 50-year-old out the window, which brings up another good point about why they love AEW on Friday nights, even though we are thinking like, oh, it's the worst time to be on. What are they doing? But they see it as, well, they're already doing the big show on Wednesday, right, or whatever. So this is just another time slot for them where they can win with advertising because the demographic is a higher ad revenue because it's the key demographic. So they have the key demo that's making them extra money. If they put most other shows they put on at that time are going to do 400 to 500,000 views or less, and they're not going to have the targeted key demo. So they're making, I'm not 100% on this, and I'm not the best. I know that I do a lot of things, but looking at the numbers and thinking about that, you're talking about 18% higher ad revenue and higher profit by having AEW on there for a combination of the viewership and the targeted viewership in the key demo for advertising and selling ad purposes. So that's why all of us are like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Friday night's terrible. It's bad. But like all they see it is as a win. It's not a huge win. It's not like a huge slam dunk win, but it's a pretty obvious, like, keep going with that. Like, we're winning there. Let's keep that up. Now if Monster Truck Dildos came on after AEW and started doing 2 million viewers, in the key demo, yeah, maybe then AEW's going bye-bye. But, right now I don't think they don't have anything that they think can beat that. And repeat television isn't doing that well on Fridays right there at that time slot either, or they'd put they'd buy a name or buy a show or buy whatever the fuck. And by the way, we're going to keep on wrestling all throughout this podcast here, guys. Now, we are going to get off of wrestling, too. There's other stuff to talk about. I have stuff that happened in my day. I'm sure Jake has some stories about what's going on. I have something to say about Jeremy Irons later. I have a bunch of shit to say. But let's go to the donos real quickly here. Oh, shit. Well, I got to get the Let's Get Gay dono back up. Batman and Superman, that's funny because he donated it for that purpose, but it didn't play on Super Chat. Batman and Superman have always been suspect as fuck for a decade. Superheroes in general are now being made gay just because everybody's ridiculous. Twitter now thinking Eddie Brock and Venom gay couple Carnage movie. I mean, come on. What are we doing?
I mean, a few people mentioned it in the chat as well, but what I had found out last week, I had seen a trailer commercial in the hospital that was like, Halloween, it said on Peacock. And I was like, it's on the cock. What is that about? Because I was like, I'm not going to be able to make it to the theaters. But lo and behold, there we go. And it's going to be on your Peacock account starting Friday. So
Can you believe that?
If you're not, they're really going to go ahead and they're releasing it in on demand as well as in theaters.
I think that if you are someone who's could die or be in trouble with COVID, I think it's a beautiful thing that you have the ability to be able to watch it at home. I think that's such a great thing. However, I think if you are a strapping young person and, you've had your vax and all these other things, Get the fuck out to the
definitely go
theater,
to the
God.
movies.
Go support the movie.
Go to the movies and support it, absolutely. But
it's great that like you should definitely stay home. But you don't stay home all the time though. You go out. You don't like theoretically you should be like a fucking.
I should be
hermit.
strapped down to the bed, and I just took Danny to see Slipknot over the weekend. You know, because we've had those tickets for how long now? With
because you're like
the corn one that got postponed, but still,
I'm living life. You're like I'm gonna live life. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. And
now, if you die,
they had pushed not fast forward. It worked out. So.
But if you die you get COVID from Slipknot concert and die after all you've been through and everything, are you like? Oops, like that was a bad. Like,
it was worth it.
Shouldn't have done that, or you're like,
made a memory.
What am I gonna do? You know,
it was worth it.
We'll go with orange and black for Halloween. Top Dono 69, Soundwave 92.
Yes, D. Welsh. I did see the new Scream trailer, and it looks incredible. It looks like they are trying to include all the new tech into like a reinvention of the horror genre in a way.
Yeah,
not a full reinvention, but like a good addition. You know, the automated lock systems and all of the cameras and the home automation, that's all going to come into play. And I think it's going to be very, very interesting if they treat it realistic.
You know what I saw that was a piece of shit, Jake?
What's that?
Home Alone. Go back to talking about Scream, but oh my God, dude, they're remaking another one.
Yes.
We'll get after that. Remind me to get into that after. Finish what you were saying though, and we'll get
but Scream looks incredible, and I saw people complaining that the trailer gives away too much, and I guess it's intentional.
Yes.
They filmed something like 5 different versions of the kills of characters. Like they filmed people dying that don't die in the final movie.
Wow.
And this way the actors don't know if they live or die. They can't let it leak because they all filmed the death scene. They all filmed.
Let it leak. That's what Superman's doing this summer.
He's letting it leak all over whoever he saves. But
Gruden's letting it leak too.
That's just how, him and Robin team up.
We got Superman is bisexual. We got Gruden's anti-gay emails from 10 years ago. Things are just all over the place. Dude, you should have heard.
Have any of these remakes been good? I mean, honestly, when you see it like Saved by the Bell and
no,
even
Fuller House was pretty good. Fuller House
House started off okay, and then it got terrible. We stopped watching it.
Oh, really? What happened? Because I only saw.
It got really into its own agenda and very SJW-ish.
Oh no, really?
It got really preachy. Yeah.
Roseanne was great, and then they fired Roseanne.
Exactly. So that failed, and then same thing. Boy Meets World. I used to love that show as a kid. So did Courtney.
Girl Meets World.
And Girl Meets World, the first season was fun to watch with Danny.
Girl Meets World, Jake, Girl Meets World should have been one episode, and it should have been from the point of view of the girl who got touched by Brock Turner.
Hey, girl meets life.
Girl meets reality.
For lying.
Girl makes a mistake and goes to a frat house.
Yes. What was she wearing? Hell? Okay, what was she wearing? It's her fault.
Girl gets rock stuffed inside of her unwillingly by weird, creepy, rich white kid.
Super chat party.
That was coming in from God Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jake, who's your favorite Batman actor?
Oh, easy, Jared Leto.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ, you almost killed me.
Yeah, I believe it or not, this sounds insane, but I really enjoyed Ben Affleck in the recent ones because he just seemed like a great Bruce Wayne, but he wasn't a great Batman.
Because he was just like a muscly brute Batman. He was like a punch-you Batman.
Exactly.
He
didn't
seem like the smart
a bit of that detective brain aspect. It felt more just bronze, but he was a great Bruce as he was vulnerable yet strong yet sarcastic yet intuitive. Like it all fit well as far as that side goes.
Leah would not see it. She was like, "Nah, that guy
drunk
sucks."
Side of him actually helped in certain scenes too. The bloating and gave him that real, Bruce look. Bachelor, but
middle-aged, weathered.
I do like Keaton as Batman. I mean, that's always been like my definitive Batman, minus the voice. I mean.
What?
What's his name?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, yeah. I was never crazy about the Batman voice, but I liked the way he played Batman. I didn't hate the voice either. Like, I get what he was doing. He was disguising his voice.
No, yeah, like, I'm hit or miss with that one because that was like...
those are some of my favorite movies. The Dark Knight's one of my favorite movies of all time. So
that was a great idea to change the voice because it's like, why would you never do that? Every other Batman's like, I'm going to speak just like I normally do. It's like, that's a dumb idea.
The Ben Affleck one, they used digital modulation instead, which was like, all right, that's probably a better idea than killing your throat. Be like, where is he? You know, all that. Yeah.
I want to eat you.
Justice.
I'm gonna detect your voice and masturbate.
Yes, even
it.
Troy said it. Batfleck was a good, Bat Bruce balance, believable too. I felt he was believable. Like I could see this guy being a billionaire that becomes a superhero.
Leah
That's
hates
why I
it.
enjoyed Ben Affleck's
Leah
portrayal.
hates Keaton and hates Bat and Affleck. Leah hates them. But she hasn't seen the Affleck one. She just was like, I'll never see that. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? We all said the same thing. When we heard Ben Affleck was playing Batman, we all were like, what? But then it was like, well, that was the better part of those movies was him. So I don't know. Like I actually think she'd like it, but I don't know. Whatever. Who knows? Well, she hates fucking superhero.
I mean, Keaton was so good, and
see, people
as Batman felt genuine as well. Like that was
Ben
truly...
Affleck could snap Keaton in half.
Yeah, because like you said, it was more visceral in that role. It was more.
Keaton was all detective,
brutish
and I use gadgets, but I'm a detective, really. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Apparently, the new Batman's going to be like that. It's horror.
I'm worried about the new Spider-Man with the multi.
Playing him. No, I'm kidding.
Whoever's going to play Miles Morales, we'll see. But better be a white guy, or there's going to be some white guy in blackface, or they messed up.
Wouldn't it be great? At this point, like these movies, they're going to get so bad with these movies with this weird SJW shit. Like it's just going to get so fucking dumb.
Well, that's why I'm kind of marveled out at this point.
Me too. I'm all done.
I really am. I didn't like the end of the Avengers and how it, was handled with all of the time travel plot holes. To me, it just didn't make a lot of sense as to why certain things happen. We talked about it ad nauseum, just like Star Wars. But
I say just give it all to Hispanic people, like everything. Like just give like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, all Hispanic, and just no more anything else, just all Hispanic, like a complete Hispanic or Asian agenda. Superman is Asian or Hispanic, and that's it. Like we've had plenty of white people, and there's been a lot of even black people. All Asian and all Hispanic. Let's just go that way. That
I just don't know.
Superman
why,
runs into buildings while flying. He can't really what. Make
their own hero. Why does it have to be a Puerto Rican Superman and a black Wonder Woman and a Asian Batman?
Because Jake, you have to do it that way, and the villain has to be white.
Yeah,
make sure the villain's white. We haven't seen stereotyping like this since back in the 90s and 80s when the black guy always died. Like. Because you remember, like in the 80s and the 90s, if there was one black guy, you were like, "Oh, that guy's dying. They're killing the black guy. Here it comes."
Yeah, he definitely dies first.
Now it's they're gonna remake the white guy superhero, and then the other new person who's a woman is gonna show him how to really be or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
The woman will show them how to defeat the bad guy, and the bad guy will be white.
Yes. It's like, all right, we get it. Like just like when they would kill the black. It's like, okay, we get it. Like, can there ever be like, why can't? And that's the thing is you go back and watch movies in the 80s and 90s and you still think to yourself like, oh, it's like, can there ever be a black guy who's just a friend or like just the other guy? And there is. It's called Ghostbusters and movies like that are good, where somebody is just good on their own. Like they're not going to die. You know, Winston didn't die in Ghostbusters. Didn't you think he was gonna? He showed up a quarter to halfway through the movie. Halfway through the movie, Winston shows up. You're like, oh, they're going to kill Winston to show up threat the ghosts are. That's what I thought.
Oh, black people tried, and they gave us Blank Man. Blank Man is an amazing movie.
I love Blank Man.
The Noonchucks. You brought the Noonchuck.
Bro,
I love that movie.
Blank Man is better than fucking most of these are going to be.
Exactly. I used to show all my friends that movie, that and Meteor Man. Remember Meteor Man?
Yeah, Meteor Man. Yeah,
that movie was hilarious. But Blank Man was one of my favorites. And my best friend growing up, John, I showed that to him, I think in 4th or 5th grade, and oh my God. And we used to quote it all the time. That and Three Amigos we used to watch back to back.
Yeah, Three Amigos. Very kind of similar, goofy styles. In fact, I don't know, maybe the goddamn same people involved, but Blank Man was great.
Blank Man was so damn funny. And what about my suit? I didn't have time to soak yours, and get shot. Like there's so many great moments and lines, and whenever he's giving birth, helping the lady give birth in the elevator, and just the react, like all of it. There's so the robot that he builds.
Are you trying to say that like Blank Man is on the same level as Superman and Batman?
Yeah, he should have been. He could have been. They
yeah, but
really
come on. I mean, what are you doing? Like, what you like? Oh,
'Cause he was
oh,
impervious
you don't
to-
need any. I'll leave all the white guys as the superheroes because you've got Blank Man. What? That's not the same thing. Come on.
No, it's not the same thing, and that's the thing, though. They could have made it into a full-blown series, and he could have, because now he has the formula. So this was the start of it, where he was like this ragtag, thrown together Salvation Army superhero. But the sequel could have been, well, now that people know that he has this formula, they're after for his life, so he develops an actual full-blown like tech suit. And that's impervious to not just all damage, but pain as well. And, they could have made him into a legitimate superhero with all the comedy still included.
Yeah,
and it could have been a great series. I mean,
he started from this shit,
but they just don't believe in any of that shit.
Nanny.
Look at how they handled half of the things going forward with a lot of Blade as well, and.
Oh my god, bro!
All the stuff that they're rebooting now, people are nuts about Home Alone. D. Welsh brought it up before with the trailer. I mean, it looks like garbage.
It looks like shit.
Saved by
it's
the
the
Bell
same
was
movie.
Awful. Anything they bring back is just been soulless. It's a cash grab.
But the new Home Alone trailer, it's not even like. Here's the thing that I don't understand, and I'm glad you brought back to Home Alone because I wanted to fucking complain about this for a second. Home Alone 1, we all know it's classic. Blah blah blah. Home Alone 2, still good. No, not as good. Still good, though. Fun to watch, whatever. That's it. Home Alone 1, 2, that's it. Home Alone 3, fucking terrible. The bad guys are, like, overly goofy. It's like they made the movie for a super younger audience. Like, okay, those two movies were, like, PG. Here's a full G movie now. But then there was, like, there was Home Alone 4. That was terrible as well. And Home Alone 5 or something, and that was terrible as well. So they made 3 more Home Alones after Home Alone 2. 3.
And I remember and
they're all cheesy.
Third one being like the fourth one being really bad. I mean, the third one I believe was straight to video, and then they just progressively got worse and worse.
Dude, this new one is another.
The most recent one I saw with Danny when she was younger, and now the Home Sweet Home Alone is going to be on Disney Plus.
Why would you do this? And by the way, I just looked up the ratings. It's got 12,000 dislikes.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because, dude, they're using. Not only are they using the same music.
'Twas the night before Christmas vacation.
Trying
the
to
fun
cash
was
in on
it-
nostalgia like they always do. They try and hit the same beats in the same moments. Remember in the first one where he burnt his head? Oh, and he shot him in the nuts. Oh, and they fell down the stairs and they stepped on
But
the
it's
ornament.
not even
You
that.
like that. So we're going to do that again.
But it's not that, Jake. I don't even think it's that. That's the problem. Here's why they did this. This is clear as day to me why they did this. They did this, number one, for a cash grab, and number two, because they wanted to modernize and upgrade their IP. I don't know if they have to hold on to the IP or something of Home Alone.
I'm sure there's a limitation where if you don't use it every so many years that you lose it. So they use it or lose it. That is a fact.
This isn't just a remake. This is legitimately an exact remake. The lines in this are exact. This is different people doing the exact same thing. So you're going to see the exact same movie with worse actors. But look, the video games are upgraded and everything is today modernized so that maybe your kids and your family will watch this movie and they'll be able to, because they can't relate maybe to the older one or something. I don't know. Look at some of this.
Full swing.
You have split our family onto 2 separate flights.
Mom!
Max, please!
The family left for their big vacation.
Is that everyone?
I hate this actor guy, by the way. This guy, oh my god.
Yes. People go say, "Oh, you just agree with." No, I've told Court and she'll back me up. He drives me nuts, and I can't call what he's been to me before because when I was showing people the trailer, I'm like, "Where is this guy from?" Maybe someone in the chat can recognize him or what his name is.
I'm trying to
remember.
remember.
He drives me nuts. I can't stand him.
I agree. I hate that guy.
There's a few actors that I genuinely get perturbed. An inane amount of hate that shouldn't exist for someone. Probably a very nice guy, but I see him and it my blood boils. There's a few actors out there that I just cannot stand.
I will say one thing.
Josh Hartnett is another one that I just despise.
I want this guy's mom to smash me.
Oh yeah.
I want this lady to just destroy me. Listen to this.
Is at home by himself. You just assumed Max was on the other flight.
We didn't take a census.
We got reports of
Of course, the dad's a moron and the woman knows everything. And by the way, that's Buzz right there.
That's Buzz, yeah.
That's Buzz Lightyear. No, that's Buzz from the original Home Alone. And his
the older brother.
And so what's weird is this is going on a full-on remake exactly almost of the original Home Alone. Not even a continuation, just a whole remake. But this guy's name is McAllister.
And it was so weird because they did the same thing in Ghostbusters, remember? When they brought people, certain people in for cameos and they had, certain names in the universe. And
that was
like,
really
how can Venkman be there if this is a brand new thing and that Ghostbusters never existed?
Oh.
That was very lazy writing. That again was a nostalgia pop. So his name being McAllister makes no sense if this is really a reboot. But lo and behold, they have to include it because of the nostalgia.
By the way, the criminals, the guy's a moron and the girl's the brains.
Yeah. She's the Pesci.
She's the Pesci, but not funny probably at all.
Oh,
I'm
of course
assuming.
not.
Never heard of them.
Here is getting got.
And we're criminals.
I don't.
Now, I will say one thing about the criminal people in this. At least they're less cartoony than some of the ones that they had been having. Like Joe Pesci and am I drawing a blank on what's his name from Celtic Pride?
Yeah. Oh god.
Fuck. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Daniel Stern. Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci, for the most part, were somewhat believable. Like Daniel Stern was like the moron guy, but he was like kind of seemingly creepy. And Joe Pesci was obviously like, Joe Pesci. So they seem a little bit legit. But then after the second movie, every remake of Home Alone or reincarnation of it was like, they were like, hey, let's try to get in the windows. Like they were like retarded.
Yeah,
like,
they were mentally handicapping all the fellow sequels. And even Macaulay Culkin was like, just a heads up, I've been getting this question a lot. I'm not in the new Home Alone. I wish all involved the best of luck. Like he's being cordial, but you can tell he's like, not me. I got nothing to do with it.
Listen, the kid playing him or whatever, I just don't listen to this. He
looks like a nerdier Buzz, a fatter, nerdier Buzz.
I don't think so.
It's like terrible acting.
With a crazy
I don't think so.
accent. I do agree with Troy, though, in the chat. He said that the best part about number 3 was Scarlett Johansson because at that age, we were close to like the same age, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Break into my house.
Now it's weird, but back then I was breaking out my bat signal.
I was like, where are my handcuffs when I was a kid? I was like, yo, you know what?
It like that's what you had mentioned the other day with Bailey when you were talking to several people. I think it was Nikki or somebody being like, oh, that's weird. And you're like, well, no, because I was the same age then with the Britney Spears album cover, and it's like we grew up with her, at least you and I.
Yeah, I grew up. I grew because of her. I grew because of her down there.
Absolutely.
As a 12-year-old.
I heard she's free, and I'm like, well, that makes 2 of us. So
hit me, baby, one more.
Doing?
Come shot.
Billy, you cunt!
AJ Adams, what's up, man?
Frog off.
Jeez. AJ Adams says, on Superman, I fly all over town banging butts. I'm a butt pirate. I F a guy in his ass and he exploded. Okay, Jesus, AJ Adams. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's Indiana Jones. No, we got to go back to the... Oh, fuck. Now I can't get Indiana Jones theme out of my head instead of the Superman theme from...
I want to know where
John
you stand,
Williams.
because sometimes I want to be... I know I'm such a hypocrite. I really am, because I'm this like bleeding heart liberal when it comes to mental health, where I'm like, oh, I want everyone to be okay, and everyone should be able to... But then I hear like Megan Fox talk about, oh, people think my life's so perfect because I'm beautiful, and I'm like, no, I'm not thinking that. But she immediately said, I have body dysmorphia and I have a lot of insecurities, and people think, oh, I'm so beautiful, I must feel so perfect. And I get no one's happy with themselves, granted. But
a lot of actors and actresses, I'll just say, a lot of actors and actresses have problems. Like
I guess
that's the whole
society
thing.
must really hammer it home for them, because you look at these people and it's hard to imagine, even still, being like, how could you have any insecurities when you're that pretty, handsome, sexy, whatever it is? But I guess as you were bringing up, bringing to light, there really must be just so much pressure.
I'll tell you one thing. I was obviously I was skinny. I was, I look good. I look pretty skinny. I looked a little, I don't know. I was always borderline, like boy next door looking, like dork / good looking, I guess. I don't know. I was weird. When I was younger, right? I had real issues wearing different clothes. Like I would take a long time to get ready in the morning because I would look in the mirror and hate what I looked like, and I would think like this clothes don't look right on me and I look weird or something. I thought there was something wrong with my thighs, and there wasn't really. Like, it didn't make any sense. And I went through this forever. I even still kind of sometimes go through it where I feel horrific.
Yeah,
But-
no, it took me a lot not to like fully hate myself, and even losing all this weight, I'm still hypercritical because I'm like, all right, so now I'm not a huge fat ass, but I have all this excess skin. So it's like you'll always find the flaws or something wrong no matter what.
We can talk about it now.
It's okay. You're pretty. I'm telling you. You're pretty.
I'm pretty again.
You're beautiful. You're so pretty.
Oh
You know
my
you're
God!
pretty.
Tell me I'm pretty again.
You know you're my pretty princess.
Oh,
Yeah. You want to get ice cream?
Yeah.
You want to get ice cream? We can go for a walk and get ice cream. Come on, we'll stop off in the porta potty again.
Oh, can we?
Yeah.
I love you.
No, I love you too. I'll even bring the lube this time.
Oh yeah, thank you, God. I don't know what I did to deserve you, but it's so good to be in love with you.
You're too good to me. That's what it is.
Gurgle, gurgle. Let's go back to the donations. They're coming in strong here. Patrick Crawford donates $1.
Soundwaves on it. Courtney just looks at me. She gets that side eye.
What is wrong? Patrick Crawford's dropping dollar super chats, baby. What up, Patrick Crawford? PC.
Oh, Thunder Thighs. Yeah, right? Oh,
yeah, Thunder Thighs. I really thought
That's
something
what
was
it
wrong with my thighs, dude. I'm not kidding. So I can
No,
see Megan
I
Fox, I
hear
guess.
ya.
So if I could think I was,
I thought there was something wrong with my penis. I couldn't find it. Turns out I was just really fat.
yeah, no, that will do it. That's when you start to realize.
I would be, but
I thought there was something wrong with me until I realized it grew quite a bit,
Yeah.
like afterwards. I
Growing
love
on the
Home
shower.
Alone. Yeah, everybody loves 1 and 2. I mean, come on, right?
It's funny how you have like certain little keywords or things that'll trigger a memory with such nostalgia. And I just made that joke saying
Penis.
growing out of shower, and instantly it triggered a memory of there was this whorish friend Courtney and I used to have, and she was known for being a bit promiscuous. And she would we would go to the bowling alley and she'd be there. She'd go up to random guys and just go down their pants and look. And she would, choose her next victim, per se, by perusing. And some of the guys would be like, yeah, I'll go for it. They're not going to pass
She
it up.
grabbed him by
wasn't-
the pussy, but by the dick.
Basically, yeah, it was just the reverse. But she would look. And I remember my buddy Josh trying to get into this. And she goes over and she opens his shorts and she goes, oh, you're a grower, not a shower, huh? And his face turned beet red and he just walked away. And that was it. I was like, you couldn't have said something and came back with
He had the perfect opening that said, want to find out how big
exactly
it gets?
anything. Nope, he just got embarrassed and walked away. And I'm like,
Happy anniversary!
Yeah, I would have been like, 100%. I would have been like, well, listen, why don't you let me grow and show you? Don't you want to find out what the difference is? Like, come on.
yeah, I've got it tattooed. You
6
wanna see what
inches.
it says?
Looks like
Exactly.
it's 1. It's going to turn 6.
But no, nothing. He just turned beet red. So every time I hear that line, grower and understand, I can see his embarrassed face and everybody laughing. And I was like, you had the perfect opportunity to, at that time, school everybody else and look like a badass.
There was a guy in the locker room, I remember everybody used to call him Tiny Cock. And I'm like, why are you looking at his cock? But then one day, I know he came out of the shower and he came out and he was, what's tiny now? And he went, and jerked his dick to everybody. And I went, oh, what the fuck? And yeah, it was like 7 inches. And I was like, I was like, whoa. Like, it was like, I almost thought it was, so I thought it was fake because he was always so tiny. And so, he wasn't much small. I mean, smaller than me, but it was like not that much smaller.
Where did the rest of that come from?
I was like, whoa. So I thought he had a fake dong that he was coming out of the shower to scare us all with. And he made a racket to make sure everybody saw it because he was like,
oh, of course.
hey, and you're like, oh, like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And he was just like, just showing you it gets bigger. And then he put a towel on. And it was like, what the fuck, dude? People were
we had a
throwing
similar
stuff at him.
situation with my buddy John in strip poker. Somebody called him out and basically saying he was small, and
It really does
he wouldn't
grow.
let it up. It comes out of nowhere. You know, that's how that name.
Well, I
happened,
never
out of
felt bad
nowhere.
again. My point, with that was I always was worried like something like it doesn't look that, it's got to be, so I was always like, well, I'm not really that worried because yeah, it does. It really
But like you
changes.
said, why are you looking? What's the point of judging?
I know.
And, giving everybody, because you don't know.
You know what I watched the other day? Speaking of all this weird talk, that we're talking about, Jeremy Irons. Like it was like I was watching. I love the original movie Lolita, so I'm watching Lolita.
Oh.
So I'm watching Lolita for like the I don't know, 8th time or whatever, black and white. Here's what I don't understand. I got multiple questions. As I'm looking for Lolita, Stanley Kubrick, we all love Stanley Kubrick. I love the fuck out of Stanley Kubrick. It's one of his first movies. As I'm looking for Lolita, I happen to see that they remade Lolita in 1997. I did not know this. And I go, wait a minute. Jeremy Irons plays the guy, the German guy or whatever, Humber or whatever his name is. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to see that. Because I'm Jeremy Irons, Lolita. And I'm like, I've got to see this. So, here's what I don't understand. I have questions and they start here. And this is for anybody in the chat right now who's over 50 or 60, or if you were born in the 60s or 50s. And I don't know if we have anybody in the audience tonight, particularly, that is of that age. But what I don't understand is, in the black and white Lolita, it's so proper, right? First of all, they can't do some of the scenes from the book because they're too fucked up for the times. So the movie is just very proper. Like, oh, of course, Miss blah, blah, blah. Oh, Lolita, if you get in the car. And, it's very, proper and, oh, come on in, darling, and I love this. And it's very... And the movie makes... Now, the movie was made in 1960, and so you're like, this is the way things were. Okay, and it's in black and white, so that helps as well. But when you watch Lolita 1997, they're also doing the 60s or the 50s. Maybe, I don't know. So the problem is, though, the tone is completely different. It doesn't feel like the 60s. It feels like the 80s, but yet everything is the 60s and 50s or whatever. So the backgrounds are all the 50s, 60s. They're driving 50s cars, 60s cars, things like that. But the conversations are more 90s. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. Is the actual original Lolita movie more accurate? Because it feels like it's the 60s because it was made in the 60s. However, was life in the 60s really like the movie, though? Or was this the Hollywood 60s, so it was more proper? Lolita couldn't do the things, they couldn't have the scenes in the book. Certain people didn't talk a certain way. It was more proper because that's how movies had to be.
Yeah, and it was John Travolta's daughter from Face Off.
Right. And so in
that was Mr. Pico saying that before.
So was the 1997 Lolita actually
that's
more...
the one I'm talking about.
Now, and was that more historically accurate? Is that what the 60s were more like? Because the 60s of Lolita...
I believe so. I believe there was not a book, but like a tell-all type thing that said that. I remember reading back a while ago.
Tell me.
Saying that was more accurate to it was more akin to the accuracy of the times and how things actually were.
JB, it's me calling again, Jeremy Irons. I want to fuck your teddy bear.
So I can understand people hating themselves, but it is hard when you see someone so beautiful, rich, and you can be like, how could you be miserable? Oh, money doesn't buy happiness, but it could buy me a jet ski, and I'd be pretty fucking happy on a jet ski,
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things where you're like, I know mental health doesn't pick and choose anyone, and anyone could be affected by it. Money doesn't matter.
Jake, she's a spoiled bitch.
But it's hard to have sympathy for someone on GQ flaunting their body and being like, I have body dysmorphia, that's the kind of stuff
It is, dude, it's hard to figure that out. I get that too. It's weird.
It's hard to wrap my head around and feel sympathy when she's laying on GQ and
you know what the real problem is?
All these poses.
She's an attention whore. That's the real problem, I believe. She'd do anything for attention. First, anything is, look at how I'm so sexy, I can do all these things. then it becomes I'm not getting as much of attention anymore. I'll say that I have these problems. I mean, maybe. But sometimes people, if Dr. Drew would hear, he'd probably tell us. And I mean, like, Dr. Drew from Loveline, he'd probably say some people with those issues actually put their body out there as a weird sort of, I don't know, like sadomasochism. Like, I don't know, something like that. I don't know. Man,
no kidding.
You know what? I was trying to find my prank call to JB as Jeremy Irons, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that was so classic.
I don't know where they are, man. I can't
I was hoping you had it. I mean, we have the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory prequel.
Ugh.
And you
it'd just be better than the Depp
Chalamet
movie
as a young Willy Wonka. It's just all these things where there's so much to it. Why do they have to remake everything at this point in time? I mean, we said it a few years ago, but now we got the Chucky TV show, and it's like, all right, I'm fine if they're continuing a specific story with certain aspects, but that if they're just rebooting it for nostalgia's sake as a cash grab, as we've been getting, then that's what I'm so sick of.
I'm sick of
Star Wars
Jake.
turned into that, and so many other things.
Fuck you, Jake. Did you see me in The Lion King as Scar?
Just Mufasa.
Did you watch me in The Lion King as Scar, Jake? I murdered Mufasa. And then I raped his children.
What happened in the end?
Nothing.
You burned down the Prime Lands and raped all those little Timon and Pumbaa wannabes.
I fucked Pumbaa.
That's right.
To Topanga. I masturbated to Topanga. I saw her on Boy Meets World, and I said to the studio, when she turns 18, I want to do a movie with her called Lolita 2.
I shouldn't tell you that my daughter is in part named because of Topanga then, huh?
That's a perversion of the father. That's a perversion of the father.
Da-da-da-da.
I know.
Courtney loved Topanga growing up, and she always wanted to have a girl named Danielle. And when we had a really awesome nurse in the hospital that was taking care of me, her name was Danielle. It was kind of a sign. And a few other names we had picked out originally just didn't feel like they fit.
Congratulations on naming your daughter after a hooker.
That's right. She was a whore, not a hooker. Get it right.
I combined both words, if you heard me. Hooker. Hooker.
Gotcha.
Where I'm from. Did you ever see Die Hard 3, Jake?
I did.
I made Bruce Willis a star in that movie.
You made Samuel L. Jackson a star.
Samuel L. Jackson hates white people.
Well, that's the sign that Bruce Willis had to carry around. It was the other way. He hates black people. Remember?
Did you ever see me?
You made him carry that around Main Street.
You should have saw me in the movie Time Machine. I played a gothic fish.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know what the fuck. All right, Jeremy Irons, you got to go, man. We got to figure out where Jeremy, where are those clips from when he used to call JB? We got to find those clips. They're so fun. I can't find them. I have no idea. And, I know I recorded them because I got a kick out of them so bad that I thought I put them on Patreon, and they're not on Patreon.
To get Jeremy Irons back, because we need him in his performance as Brom from Aragon. That's what we need.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I've forgotten a great much. Now play with my Jeremy Irons balls.
Speaking of Disney and all of this nonsense, did you see The Miz dressed as the genie?
Oh my God, I almost fucking passed out. I saw it earlier today, Jake. I almost fucking died.
Thought it was a Photoshop at first. I thought people were kidding. I did not believe it, but yeah, they're making a prequel with young Mufasa, and they're making a sequel to the newest Lion King. Yes, I had heard that, DJ Scandalous. How ridiculous.
I'm not in it.
No fresh ideas, no nothing. It's just more rinse and repeat, as we said.
Please no more movie
drawing under a 1.6. It got a 1.582, as we were talking about earlier. A 0.42, ranked number 8 in cable overall, instead of being number 5 or above. They're falling faster and faster. I mean, they were at a 1.856 the week before.
Oh my God, dude, they're a mess.
That's 300,000 viewers. They're down
because it's I mean, look what happened, dude. I didn't watch for the first time.
I didn't either, and I could have. I mean, yeah, but I could have gone out of my way to watch. I just didn't, but still.
Thank you, Patrick Crawford, man, for dropping all those dollars. Much appreciated.
Crazy bastard. He knows. I had to show up high and, better than not at all, but that's why we send him some love.
Patrick Crawford, thank you. Dollars,
Miz
dollars.
is crazy. He's dedicated to it. I mean, he really put in his full effort and everything. I mean, it's just, damn, is it a hell of an outfit? I'll tell you that much. It looks ridiculous.
He looked pretty good. I mean,
I give him credit for going all out.
I didn't like the dance style, but he did good.
Chat party.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the Gabby Petito stuff. Cow Palace Dave with the $5 super chat party. Yeah, I wasn't a Cow Palace. Thank you, Cow Palace. What's up, man? I wasn't a fan of the dance because I just thought it was goofy, but like he was good. Like Corey, like they could.
I didn't get to see the dance yet. I only got to see the outfit.
It was
itself,
just a lot of skippy.
I will check it out. I used to watch dancing.
It was a lot of skip, dip, and I call it like
the sashay and the side
yeah,
to side
sashay,
and,
curtsy, fucking skip, dip, and like
they
weren't tap dancing, but it was like a tap dance routine, but they weren't tap dancing.
I wonder what dance they were doing this week then.
Yeah, they were doing the ball sex change. That's what they were doing. Patrick, thank you for the super chat again, man. He's dropping dollars. Cow Palace Dave again.
Quick step. So yeah, that's a lot of like arms and swaying and
yes,
big movements. Yeah, the salsa is more personal and trying to be
Laundry
sexy.
was framed.
Brian Laundry was framed, says Cow Palace Dave.
Well, I tagged you before in Dog the Bounty Hunter's response, which was pretty hilarious.
Oh, let's check it
you
out.
made a great note that he's in the best kind of case
scenario
going forward because really he's set no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
realistically. I mean, if something bad comes out of it, he could still benefit. If something good comes out of it, he benefits more, obviously, but still.
And I believe he really wanted to find him. I think he thought to himself,
I genuinely believe he wants to help.
But
he also gets publicity out of it as well.
Yeah, it's like, look at this. If I find anything about this guy, I'm a hero. If I find this guy, I'm a hero. If I find something that leads to the finding of this guy, I'm a hero. If I don't find anything, at least I helped, and I'm gonna go viral. Like, so you add those things together, and now you got the reason why he did this.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Corey did a great job. We don't need to go through the timeline. But you did obviously cover the 911 footage that was there when the cops had pulled them over and how just errant and erratic she was acting. And I don't know, it was very weird, but she didn't seem normal. And it seemed like, the gentleman was slapping the girl, they said, but then he had bruises and scratches. So it looked like he was actually the one being hit. So people said that there was a bunch of confusion and emotional abuse on both sides. So we'll see what happened, but I'm really not sure.
We have this amazing clip of Dog right here, so we're just going to go to that real quick. Take a look at this, and
we also have the cause of death today as well. So the cause of death is strangulation. That's what brought about this dog response. Now you have the background information needed.
Well, let's go ahead and see what this clip says. Let's see what Dog is saying here. Oh, my God. What's this? What is this? What's going on? What is this?
When they're missing, you can always call me. I will find.
All right, I'm not even going to try it. My voice hurts too much. Thank you very much. Dog the Bounty Hunter, go ahead.
They have more than likely acted and aided and abetted a murder.
The parents are definitely guilty as well. They have to be. Come on.
Oh, something's up. Yeah. I told Leah yesterday, I said, before we play this clip real quick, I said, I think they gave him a bunch of cash because here's the thing. Only way this guy can survive really, right, is if he has a bunch of cash, because at this point, and I believe he's going to Canada. And the reason why I think he's going to Canada is because he's not going to Mexico because he'll be like gutted and like they'll find him somehow. And in America, any convenience store he goes to, He could be recognized almost anywhere.
He'll be on camera. Yeah, he doesn't want to be on
Yeah.
camera anywhere because it's only going to take a few hours for that to be seen somehow.
But really in America, it's like everybody knows, like 70%. Like I believe there's like a 70% chance if he goes into any store, someone's gonna look at him and be like, I recognize that. Like they're gonna recognize him. But in Canada, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Canada is as much blown up about this as we are. I don't know. But I'm assuming in Canada this isn't as big of a story. Maybe I'm wrong. And it is, because it's all over YouTube and everywhere, so maybe it's global at this point. It doesn't matter. But I would think you would have a better chance in Canada.
Well, I mean, the county coroner, Teton definitely said the cause of death was strangulation. Manor was homicide. She was reported missing September 11th by her fiance, Brian Laundrie. He had been traveling for the road
There's about
trip,
3,000
through
people
several
reported
Western
missing, too.
states. Yeah. So, and then in that time, as you said, the facts don't add up, and him disappearing. It seems like he knows the Appalachian trails. We should have gotten Trailbound to go after him. They would have found him already.
That's the thing.
The family lawyer admitted today he's been using Gabby's debit card. So there you have that. And I'm surprised those are not canceled or deactivated. That's what D. Welsh was saying in the chat. I had heard about that before as well, but.
So then that maybe
the coroner laments most cases aren't covered like Gabby's. So he said, unfortunately, this is just one of many deaths around the country of people who are involved in domestic violence. The other deaths don't get as much coverage.
This is why we need to bring cops back, because every day we had one of these type of things. Now it's like, oh.
Yeah, he said, I've done my job. Whoever committed the homicide, now it's up to law enforcement.
Well, let's play the clip. This is what he's going to say. By the way, he's looking like fucking Khan from Wrath of Khan. Is he in the new Star Trek movie?
He might be.
For the entire laundry family.
He's got the pecs, too.
Brian's only chance is to turn himself in. He cannot
I shall leave you as you left me, Kirk. Marooned for all eternity.
Forever.
Jeremy Irons could be Khan. Buried alive.
The Laundries have stonewalled Gabby's family because they knew what Brian had done. And it looks like they've helped him run. And now it seems like, based on the report, coupled with their behavior, they have more than likely acted and aided and abetted a murder.
So he's like, I found nothing and don't know how to find anything. So I'm going to go on and give my opinion that almost anybody could give right now.
Pretty much. And I mean, it seems like he was near on some form of the Appalachian Trail. He's going up. And, yeah, manual strangulation. So he used his hands on the front and side of her neck. I mean, the coroner said that the reason why they took their time is because they wanted to be exact in their examination. They brought in specialists to help with the investigation for toxicology as well, because they wanted all of their findings to be exact. And since her body had been in the wilderness for up to 4 weeks, at least 3 to 4 weeks, they don't have an exact time. It's between 3 and 4 weeks. There was a lot of excess decomposition, animal interference, things like so. They had to go ahead and, handle all that. So,
I just come out of this thinking the cops are retarded. Like, is it just me, or are the cops retarded? Like, I mean, what, they let these people get away. I don't understand how they let these people get away.
Well, because they separated them as a domestic. She didn't want to press charges. He was more like, I just need a break. She was the one acting more erratic on camera, it seemed, in the moment.
Oh, no, I don't mean those cops. I don't mean those cops even. I'm talking about the FBI and shit. How do you let Laundry face?
How they let him get away, I don't know. Yeah, that was ridiculous. He should have been apprehended immediately. Or at least being followed and under surveillance constantly if they didn't go ahead.
Dude, this country fails more and more. Like the Pentagon hit by a plane in 2001. Like,
if they didn't have somebody to do it either, they're like, oh, we don't have it. They could have had a few Redditors go ahead and volunteer. I'm sure people would love to go ahead and play cop for a few hours and surveil the suspect.
Now, I mean, like, I'm sure there are people out there who want to have sex with Brian Laundrie too. There's probably women lined up wanting to have them.
There's already on Twitter a female fan club for him.
Of course.
These girls that think he's innocent because he's hot. And just like the Boston.
Is he really hot?
I don't think so.
He looks bald.
There was girls being like, oh my God, he's so sexy. And how old is he? He's not.
Bro, there's something wrong.
She was 22.
There's something wrong with people.
He's 23, I think. So.
There was a hot chick who murdered like her family and stuff recently, and I remember we said the same thing. I said the same thing. I said, wow, that girl, oh my God, dude, look at that girl. But I would never think like, I want to marry her.
Yeah,
and
because she was very pretty, and people were simping over her. So they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe she's gone."
I'd be like, I hope she goes
all
to
that
jail,
stuff.
but I don't really think she's a great. I don't really want to marry a murderous hot chick.
Exactly, but he went ahead and has actual dedicated fan bases at this point. It's messed up. It's crazy, but people have fantasized and turned killers to be infamous for years. I mean, look at all the pen pals and fan letters that get sent to serial killers and prison systems, and it's legitimate. It's not crazy. It happens. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it's definitely out there. There's this infatuation with talking to someone that took a life, because it is the ultimate power fantasy, I believe, in most instances. People always envision or fantasize, oh, they want to kill their boss, or they hate
Well, a
their
lot of people were
partner,
happy when
or-
Chris Brown finally beat up that stupid asshole. What's her face? Yeah, like Rihanna.
Rihanna,
Somebody
yeah.
needed to slap her around, and people were
Eminem
really
tried,
happy.
but
Yeah, Eminem tried, but he's too tiny and white, so it was like, But Chris Brown really laid it into her. Someone said Dog the Bounty Hunter's racist. Is Dog the Bounty Hunter racist?
he said the N-word years ago,
So
but
have
he
I.
never said it in a racist context. How it was is when he grew up, he was often in the context of like my buddy, my friend, my
okay.
N-word type
Yeah, yeah.
thing. So I don't believe that's at least his explanation for it. He was like, I didn't, even when I went to jail, we all said it, my N-word this, my N-word that. He's like, so I never thought it was an issue, but now I know and I understand it better, and I never meant any ill will towards it. So,
Yeah, so I don't think
that's what people say he's a racist about. I don't think he's racist, though.
If Dog the Bounty Hunter was going around going, yo, what's up, my N-word? It's like, is that weird? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird, but he was also in prison at that point in time, and
Yes.
with
He's got a
but
very urban sort of presence.
this is before he turned his life around, and that was why he
Right.
turned his life around, was the prison sentence.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've said it in worse ways than him. So,
Yeah.
and
I've made
JD,
jokes
I
and
mean,
just
remember when
repeating
JD said it like 7 times on that? Like, come on.
Oh, yeah, he
So we're
was
not going to
going
sit
off.
here. I'm just saying this because I'm saying I'm not going to sit here and say that Dog the Bounty Hunter is a racist because he said it.
certainly
that,
not, because that's, and I don't know if there's anything else that people were going out about him, but
Right.
that was like one of the big things was that.
Yeah, that's just
they
that's
also
just
had some
goofy.
other things that came out, but
Now,
I
if
really
he
don't
said
think there was anything else that had happened. I might be way off.
If he said it like, unless it's a different thing we don't know, but yeah, if he said it like Hogan did, like it would be like, and even people say Hogan's not, right? Like Booker T. Now I know Booker T's Booker T's about fucking 5 minutes away from being somebody's butler, but because he just sucks so much white D, it's unbelievable. But
yeah,
but Booker T really does stick up for Hogan, and so don't these other people. And I think Hogan is just a cunt. That's what I think Hogan is. I think whatever you are, Hogan will talk shit about you for whatever reason. But it still was weird that in private he said those things. Because, like, that's the weird thing. And I know that I've said this a million times, but I've said way worse stuff in public. And there's so many people go, if Joe says that in public, what does he say in private? But it's like, I don't talk that way in private. It's like it's the opposite with me. When I'm making a joke, I will say something horrific in public.
Okay, so here's more in depth. They're saying that he used racial epithets to attack teenage Black Lives Matters activists while filming his series. This is what's being reported by the New York Post. So they said he's been served with a $1.3 million lawsuit accusing him of racist and homophobic behavior during his search for Brian Laundrie in Florida.
You can get sued for being homophobic?
Yes, it's a not a criminal court. It's a, what do you call it?
Civil?
Like civil court. Yeah,
I mean, like put it this way, like I love gay people. I support everybody, but I wouldn't. Am I like? Are they gonna yell at me for calling someone a butt pumping? Fucking...
Well, I guess there's more to. So
okay,
Dwayne Chapman, who was allegedly fired from the show after racist outbursts and using an illegal taser to intimidate his way into someone's home during a shoot in Virginia, according to the Sun, which cited the suit. He was accused of using homophobic language. He strongly denied the accusations, according to the outlet. The show Dog Unleashed was canceled before it ever aired because of the comments the star made, as well as illegal activity during filming, producers wrote in a statement earlier this year.
Wow. I'm going to jail.
So a lot of people said it was a publicity stunt with him looking for Brandon, but other people said no, he meant it legitimately.
See, I would have said, yeah, I said that shit, and I'll say it again. Fuck off. What? Like, come on, dog. Let's be real. Because as long as you know that you don't hate people, but you talk shit, like that's all. Whatever. Let everybody else deal with it. Although I guess they cancel your show.
And he didn't use the taser. He holstered and wore a taser device when he was filming in Virginia.
So just seeing it was
illegal.
Scary.
Yeah, you can't carry it if you've ever been convicted of a violent crime. So he was just carrying it on him. So that makes him. That's why the show got canceled, because that was considered an illegal act.
What do you think
so
about
they're saying he was threatening people because he had the taser, but that's not it. When you actually read the lawsuit, it's illegally holstered and worn.
This is very similar to the Gruden stuff that came out. So you think which one's worse? John Gruden or
the Gruden stuff? I don't know. I mean, he was making fun of Goodell, it seems like, from what I read. I know one of the donators mentioned that as well, but it seemed like he kind of got railroaded.
He made fun of. I think he made fun of some black players, and he made fun of.
What I read here from ESPN and the New York Times, it said Gruden called the league's commissioner, Roger Goodell, an FAG and clueless anti-football pussy, and said that Goodell should not have pressured Jeff Fisher, the coach of the Ram, to draft queers. A reference to Michael Sam, a gay player chosen by the team.
Ooh,
so that's not good.
That's a rough one. See, like if you had said in an email like Goodell's an F and he looks like an F and that's why he drafts Fs, like that could be considered a joke, maybe. Like that's like kind of like borderline, like you don't, depending on who the person is saying it, you don't know if it's a joke or whatever. But what you just said, that's like that's interpreted as like, see, I hate the word homophobia. Because
I do as well, because it's not all encompassing.
Yeah, like homophobia is like when you're like, I feel like when you're uncomfortable with being involved in that, and that's not really a problem. This sounds more like kind of hateful. Like
yes, this sounds like a targeted harassment / hatred.
Well, I don't know if it's targeted harassment, but he's emailing.
Well, he was going after.
These are private emails
because private email, but. What I'm saying was he was targeting that person to make the comment about them because they were gay. So that was his specific mindset. So however you want to word that.
Yeah, he was being hateful towards someone. That's what I feel. He was
because of their choices.
Because of their being gay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then he said something about a black guy and big lips or something like that. So there was that too. So there was all these things.
Yeah. Oh, but he said quite a few things.
Everybody's known. Why does no one like, dude, Gruden, isn't John Gruden like the stereotypical like dickhead coach? Like, that's the thing that I don't understand. He is totally that guy that's like, you motherfucker, you fucking Sally motherfucker, get off the field. You know, he is that, like, he is who we thought he was. Like, it's not
Apparently, he was just, joking a lot, sharing homophobic language with what he thought was...
I know, I do it all the time.
He felt comfortable sharing pornographic images, deriding the league policies... And
imagine just put your shoes in there. Imagine Bill Belichick doing this. You can't.
I couldn't. No, he's too rigid, and
he would call it bullshit. He would be like, "No, we don't. What kind of that's bullshit?"
Exactly. But here you're hearing instead Gruden is publicly denouncing the league's claims and promises to be more inclusive, and he's like promoting his own form of racism and sexism and not listening to the concerns of black players outright. Even though they make up 70% of the roster.
Right. There's nothing you can do about this. Now, I think some of the people crying on ESPN and shit is just fucking retarded. Like the people that are out there like, oh my God, you think we've come a long way?
Does this really change anything? Just get him out. If this is what he is, get him out.
Yeah. Like, listen, you're strongly trying to be pro, inclusive, and you're trying to have the backs of black men, all these things. Okay, this guy's weird. Like, get him out of there. Like, that's it. But to go on ESPN for 2 hours today and yesterday and all week and cry, everybody like, oh God, I thought we were ahead of this. It's not. Nothing's changed. Yes, it has fucking changed, you retards. First of all, these emails are from 10 years ago and 2 years ago and 1 year ago and whatever. And it's from fucking John Gruden.
Yeah,
a mongoloid.
Now,
he's a fucking mongoloid, Jake.
Yeah.
He's a shitty football
like
coach,
Fisher
mongoloid.
Have to jump in and say, "Oh, we didn't draft so and so. We didn't include Michael Sam on the team because of his, obviously his gayness was not a factor. It was just his ability and talent, and we drafted him on a variety of qualities." They actually have to come out and say it's not because he was openly gay.
You want to see one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life?
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's go to it.
Save me, please.
A lot of emotion. If you were in that locker room today.
By the way, watching these over the last couple of days, the sports guys have to go over this and be like super sensitive and oh my god, like has been just absolutely trying to watch these. Like it's really rough to watch these fucking grown adults act like goddamn babies.
Would you be able to play for him?
To speaking of Teddy's point of just putting your head down and going playing football. I speak about the game of football. I fell in love with the game of football, Sam, at 6 years old. And I get emotional talking about it because of situations like this. My civil rights were kind of messed with in high school over the color of my skin. And now being able to play 14 years in the National Football League.
These guys are making me so uncomfortable, especially the white guys. The white guys are the most uncomfortable at the tables. I saw Skip Bayless earlier today. Shannon Sharp went on like an absolute rant, which by the way I don't blame Shannon Sharp for because he's got a different perspective. But again, anybody black who comments, I totally understand. But the white guys that have to sit there, they look like they're being yelled at. Like it's the weirdest thing. They're just very. Well, you'll see what I mean.
I saw one of the clips on Twitter and they make it seem like it's their fault. It's awkward.
Well, it is, but it's. But you know what I mean? It's like I don't know. It's weird.
About leadership, we give guys these.
It's like, no, go yell at Gruden right now. Go find him and yell at him. Stop yelling at Skip Bayless.
Yeah, exactly. Yell at the right person.
Right. The right wing person.
They want to be able to lead 70 men.
Like this guy. Is that what's his face? The former coach of the Jets, right there. What's his name? Fat loser. I mean, Rex. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. You know what I mean? That's the guy for the coach of the Jets. Anyway.
Yeah.
Coaches, equipment staff, and managers.
Rex Ryan. That's Rex Ryan, I believe.
There you go.
To the number one goal, and that's to win the championship. And for us to be moving back.
Yo, this was the guy when there was a kid's cancer benefit. He couldn't take his fucking headset off and kept it on the whole time and was like listening to fucking gangster rap.
Yeah.
I just want to remind you, there was a benefit for people with cancer. And everyone was like listening and eating at the table. And Randy Moss had his headphones on. He was like,
he just couldn't give a damn. He just did not give a shit.
In all seriousness, like to back it up a little bit, if Randy Moss experienced racism, like I know I'm joking and we're making jokes before this, but
yeah, we're having fun.
If Randy Moss did experience racism, like when he was young or in high school,
he did growing up,
right? And he probably did, right? 100%. Probably was pretty fucking weird. So. Even though we've made, I'm making fun of people crying about this and whatever the fuck else, this, especially with his older age kicking in right now, man, this is something that would give you PTSD or give you.
You think so? See, I don't feel like someone being called, queer baiting, obviously with the F word and things of that nature.
Well, let me paint the picture for you. Let me just change the fucking thing.
Yeah, maybe I haven't.
You're a fat kid. You're one of the only fat kids in the school. You're one of the only fat kids in the school.
And they're done that.
Everybody calls you right. Everybody calls you fat face, fat fuck, ugly fat shit. Girls won't date you. People call you you're fat, whatever the fuck.
7th grade, gotcha.
Right, but it's like worse because it's like your skin, like and you're you, like it's even for some reason it's kind of worse, right? So like you're getting called these things. And you're like, oh my God, like why do people whatever? And then you learn about civil rights and how the world we used to be slaves and how things used to go and how people act and you're seeing it and you're like, oh wow, and so you're always dealing with that. So later on in life, when, you become a football star and things are going pretty good, fans still yell stuff at you. Hey,
yeah, even though I slimmed up, they're still talking, hey, chubby, because my high school pictures are there. No,
Right.
I can see that being triggering, but here's the thing.
Now he's thinking that
is
email.
He gay? I know Michael Sam is, but no, Jeff.
Randy
that's what I'm
Moss?
saying. Randy Moss isn't gay, so why is he?
Because the black jokes that Gruden made.
What were the black jokes? See,
he said lots of things, but the only thing that I can remember that sticks in my head was like the big lips comment.
Okay, see that all right, that was pretty
Which
much
is
the only thing I've seen is all of the homophobic and anti-gay stuff.
So just
That's
take
why
that.
I was confused of like all of the FAG comments being that upsetting to Randy Moss. Like that's what I was confused about.
Yeah. So take whatever the homophobia jokes were or whatever. By the way, I've said probably 1,000 times worse than John Gruden. I'm just going to tell you, I've said way worse, but not in private emails, in public.
No, exactly.
But so
you said it on air.
But
because Roger Goodell had them look through 650,000 emails, and he got a summary of all the findings of the league sent from the Raiders. Some of the emails written by Gruden, because Gruden used his personal email account as well. They checked into, while Allen wrote
He's
from
such
his
a
team
dumbass, Gruden. What a dick. What a dummy.
Yep. So
What a dumb.
the
You're a
exchanges
coach.
began as
You're a
early as
coach.
2010, while Gruden was an analyst for Monday Night Football. He signed a 2018 contract for 10 years at $100 million to coach the Raiders. And that piece of shit since then has had a lot of problems, I guess. But now it's really come out that what is this? He said that Gruden crudely asked Allen to perform oral sex on him. Allen said
What?
Glazer would take you up on that offer. So it's just a lot of like vulgar anti-gay stuff or jokes, or I haven't seen any
He's JB, basically.
racism things besides the lip comment.
The lips comment.
And that's horrific.
But what I'm trying to say though is this is my point about this. Even if the only thing that Gruden said, right, was the lips comment or whatever, the problem is a lot of black people, a lot of African Americans aren't really fixated on how horrific the thing is he said. He actually could have said something that wasn't even bad at all. And if a few white people or anybody made a big deal about it, and then everybody really thought about it, and they just assumed that this guy was being racist behind the scene in emails. That's all they need, is to assume this guy is racist behind the scenes in emails for it to trigger that. And what Randy Moss is going through now is different than what he would have gone through when he was 20. When Randy Moss was 20, he would have heard this and he would have said, yeah, tell me something I don't know about that. Probably some racist white piece of shit. But Randy's older now. And so what Randy is dealing with this more in a PTSD way, where his whole life he's sort of seen this sort of play out a little bit. And now he's like this little Gruden situation is bringing it all up. So he's not just thinking about Gruden here. He's thinking about the fan that called him an N-word, the guy that wanted to beat
that
him
makes
up.
sense with it triggering something. I just didn't realize there was any racist aspect to it because all I had heard was the homophobic and misogynistic side of things.
Yeah, I know. I've only heard the lips thing, the thing about the lips, which is...
So even that can trigger somebody too. It just seemed random that it seemed kind of like Moss was virtue signaling, being like, "Oh, this affects me," without him being gay or.
That's what I'm saying. Is like it seems virtue signalish, and what it is all these people are playing it up to such a crazy role. You would have thought Gruden was saying like, "Hey, let's go. We need to."
And this guy might be a piece of shit, but if you're judging just by the emails, a lot of it kind of sounds like jokes told between friends and emails, as we said before, like, "Oh, this guy's an FAG because he's a clueless anti-football pussy." I can't stand the changes he's making. What a bunch of assholes like that. That's what it sounds like.
Well, I wish if I was
I'm not
Gruden,
saying it's appropriate. I'm not saying calling Michael Sam a queer is acceptable. I'm not saying to
Pretty
say
funny,
the
though.
reason he got drafted is acceptable either. But here's the thing. People change as well, and in 2014,
but he's been doing this for 10 years straight.
So if he's continually still doing it, granted,
yes,
but
he's
but
doing
is
it
there
last year.
evidence to him still doing it?
Last year he was doing it.
Okay, all right. So that's
This is
good,
10
then.
years.
That
We
works
like
for me.
you couldn't get. See, that's the thing is. Well, here's the problem with Gruden is that he kind of said they kind of tried to say like he's different now, but then the rest of the emails started coming out, and it was like, oh, we got 10 years ago and 1 year ago, and it don't look much different.
Yeah, he
So-
called the Redskin cheerleaders juicy cunts. Yeah, that's not going to be a good look, but that's hilarious.
I love this guy. Listen, I bet you he's just a prick. That's all.
He's just a piece of shit. He's a rich
weirdo.
asshole, and
Yeah.
he thinks who he is. And you can tell by the way he walks into the press conference, even
Yeah.
quitting. He's like, "Guess what? Even if I leave, I'm still getting 100 million, whatever, and fuck you." You know what I mean? Like he's
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he wins still. You cancel him. He's got a ton of money. Maybe he doesn't get to do what he loves, but he's
Let me
rich
give you a
and-
small example. There was a guy in an office that hired me a long time ago, and I was one of the only. There was like 5 people working in the office, and there was only 2 white guys. And you know what this guy used to call me? He called me white guy number 2. He called me white guy number 2, and then he said, "Hey, listen, I don't want you bailing out on the phone like the last white guy that I had. The last white guy was like, oh yes, like, and you guys need to have a backbone, and you don't seem to have a backbone. I don't know what it is about white people." And like that could be considered racist to a lot of people, right? But because white, who cares? Because nobody cares if you're shit on if you're white. But the bottom line is, I didn't. After a little while, like, I did whatever, and that guy was always cool to me. That guy always paid me a lot. He was always nice to me. He'd talk some shit. I would talk some shit back to him, and he'd laugh when I talked shit back to him, and we'd talk shit to each other. And I was like, at some point I was saying, why don't you get another gold chain, you fucking Puerto Rican princess, I used to call him. And he used to call me, like, Mick Irish piece of shit and all these other things. But he was usually weirder than that. He wouldn't just say insults. He would say weird shit like, "I know how you white motherfuckers are," and stuff like that. And it would be weird, but like, it's like, I know he was just messing around. I know that guy isn't really a racist because he's like got some prejudice
It's just
in him.
not in his heart.
Yeah, he was talking some shit and he was prejudiced kind of like in a way. But he wouldn't have hired me. He wouldn't have fucking hired me, and he wouldn't have hired the other guy, and then he wouldn't have tried to make us better, and he wouldn't have. He just talked shit. So I'm not going out there, like pretend I was a different color and he was a different color. It's like I'm not gonna go out there trying to cancel him years later because I would be thinking this guy was just a rough dude. Like he just talked shit and was rough and was kind of like prejudiced. But like his prejudice is like what made him great because he did it to everybody. Some guy came in
so
Asian.
everybody had to deal with it. Yeah.
He called the fucking Asian guy octopus face sometimes. It's like, and the black guy, he was half black, half Puerto Rican. But the bottom line is he would talk shit to everybody. And he was the guy who ran the place. Nowadays, you'd be coming out saying, this guy was a racist. Like you'd be, and it's like, I never thought that. I never thought this guy hates me. Like, who I thought hated me was that guy at Mardi Gras that pushed me over. I was like, why do you hate me because of what I look like? That was weird. But this guy, I never thought that. I always just thought, but again, Randy Moss don't know Gruden really. I don't think, right? Did he play with Gruden? I don't know. I don't know football.
You're asking the wrong person there.
I have no idea. Let's see how much Randy Moss cries. Let's see.
Like I said, man, National Football League, this hurts me. The clock is ticking, man. I'm sorry.
No.
I can play for you, but I'd rather not. Okay? I'd rather not do it, but if I have to do it, I will. And it's just because I have other people that I have to provide for.
Yeah.
Right? But I'd rather not do it.
Yeah.
But we've done it before.
Look at Rex Ryan. He's fucking broke up over here. They're all over emails. These people are fucking destroyed over emails. Can you imagine do you know that what's his name? Didn't that fucking guy on the Vikings kill somebody? And they love that guy. That guy killed somebody. Who's that guy? Anybody remember that guy who killed somebody? They're like, hey, they bring him back all the time. They're like, hey, buddy, what's up? He fucking killed somebody. But Gruden writes a couple of goofy emails, like kind of shitty emails. By the way, I always thought Gruden was a bully. Did you not look at Gruden and think this guy was probably a bully in high school and shit? Or something? Like, I did, and he's on the Raiders. It's like, of course. Fucking John Gruden is a goddamn bully, probably. He's got, low moral standard, likes to talk shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but these guys are coming off like they just found
Ray
out
Lewis,
that Ray Lewis, yeah, these guys are coming off like he's molesting kids. Like, it's like, what? He's a shithead. Yeah, fire him. But they're like, oh,
In different situations, we are all mentally tough people in that locker room, but it's something you'd rather not do.
Yeah, so this is what I think about. It's like Randy's sitting up here feeling this way from a distance. I can't imagine a guy in that locker room today
She's crying.
trying to play a football game feeling that way.
With a heavy heart.
How? I don't
It
know.
hurts.
I don't know how. What? Matt,
This is theater, by the way. This lady is this is full of shit, this lady.
Matt or Rex, I would love to hear your perspective. What should the NFL do right now? You see this response and you
Matt or Rex?
guarantee there's a version of this response in that locker room. What should they do? How do you make this right? How does John Gruden make this right at this point? Or is it a lost cause?
I'm at a loss for solutions, but I think the answer to that question probably comes from somewhere inside that locker room.
I don't believe any of these people, except for Randy Moss, maybe. I believe maybe Randy. I don't believe the white people, though. I'm sorry. I just don't believe these white people. I believe Randy.
TJ says the Xanax tears. Yeah, you're not wrong, TJ.
Yeah,
21,
they popped
you know?
something before this. They popped this and watched puppies being murdered in like
Oh,
Sweden.
yeah. It's like that woman that, stole her husband's baby, took it, out of country, stabbed it to death 8 times, and then brought it into some grocery store and plopped it down on the checkout counter. Could you imagine being that cashier, minimum wage? Lady comes in all crazed with her dead baby and throws it at you on the counter.
Yeah.
Sending Snapchats to the husband saying, now you'll never have your baby. Oh, yeah. She'll get off with a warning, though, right?
I am like, dude, I don't know what it is. I just can't, like, I can't get upset and emotional because, probably someone saying in the chat, like, because you're white. But no, maybe too, but also because
there's so much of it that it would make you crazy.
Just Gruden. Did you think this
Yeah.
guy is? If you told me, hey, did you know Gruden sent some mildly kind of racist, stereotypical emails, joking with his buddy, and also says a bunch of crazy homophobic stuff in an email? You know what I would say? I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. How does he do coaching?
Probably fucking calls his players names. Like, I don't know.
Is he abusive to his coaches? Is he terrible to fans? Is he doing anything in actual life that's affecting anybody that's not him and a friend talking online? Because if there is, then
he's probably a prick. He's probably like he's kind of a cunt. Like, I mean,
I'm sure he's a dick, but is it the right to fire him? And you know me, Mr. Like I said, bleeding heart.
Oh, I think they had to fire him, Jake.
I know they did now with this, but I'm saying had the emails not come out, if it was just a case of like, oh, he's a dick, I don't think there was anything but the emails. Is my
I think
point.
everybody knew
I haven't
that.
heard. Is anybody coming forward and are there players saying like he was abusive or is there? I'm looking on. I don't see anything else but the emails.
Yeah, well, but because here's the thing: if a guy is nice to your face, if you pretend you're a black guy, if a guy is nice to your face, was a great coach, seemingly good, blah blah blah, and then you hear about emails where he talks shit about, like, jokes about black people or something like that, you can do two things. You can do one of two things. You can either say to yourself, listen, coach he's crazy, man. Yeah, that's weird that he did that, but he was never racist to me. I don't even think he's racist. He's just talking trash in emails. I don't know, it's weird. But then you can go the other way, which is, I'm devastated to find out this is who he is. I love coach. I love coach. So you could go either one of those routes. Now, I'm not to say which one is the right way, but
you can have your heart filled with hate or disapproval or sadness or any of these things and be like, I disavow whatever they did. You don't have to side with them. But that's the thing. Like, if they weren't doing it every day, and how does this set us back? That's what I don't get. Like, how does this set the NFL back? And if they didn't fire him and they let him stay and they defended a racist and they were like, oh, no, forget that. He stays because he's good for the team. And then they'd be like, oh, the NFL really, set race relations back.
That's my problem with that's my problem with this. I don't have a problem.
I know I'm white and they're like, oh, you won't understand if you're white. I kind of get that as well because it's not something for me to fathom.
No,
fully,
because listen,
in a general sense,
if there was a big group of people that used to hurt your people or people look like you, and then every once in a while someone pops out the woodwork saying some weird shit about like your type of people or your race or your religion or whatever it is, you will feel bad. You will feel like, wow, that person is like that or hates me. So that's what's going on. I understand that. I don't know if Gruden's really like this. He may just be talking shit. Gruden may just talk shit. I don't know. He may actually not really like gay people, and he likes to talk shit about it, but in the end, he thinks all people should be able to get married.
And he's more than just a coach. He is a public figure In the NFL, you know, that they're going around, they have things that need to be handled, and that's the case for it. So you're in this public, you know, spectatorship that is scrutinized heavily. He has to represent the NFL and the team, and so it goes more in depth than just him being a coach. So I get why he is, if he needs to be fired.
He had to be.
I totally understand that.
You got to get rid of him after these emails. Like you really can't.
I totally get that. How can you have, you know, NFL pride talking about when you have someone using these type of slurs? Exactly, it doesn't work.
What I don't like is the whole like you think we've come so far, we've taken. It's like, yes, we have come far.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Come very
Stop
far.
saying we're going backwards. No one's going backwards, but you. These people are going backwards.
I feel like when they say these things, they're talking about segregation coming back, and
yes, they want it.
You know, water tanks.
Did you see the Amazon thing that I tweeted out?
Yeah, craziness.
It's like they segregate Amazon. They're like family-owned business, white-owned. It's like there's no white-owned business, but there's like, you know, black-owned business, minority-owned business, Asian-owned business. It's like you're segregating. So you're telling people and racists and stuff where not to shop. Like, it's the worst thing you can do. When you say, oh, shop Amazon now, woman-owned business or minority-owned business. Anybody who's prejudiced or could be a little bit, they're going to avoid that place. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But here's what happens when you have someone who's slightly prejudiced, but they don't know who they're buying from, okay? Somebody makes the best watch you've ever seen in your life. You've always wanted a great watch that fits you perfectly, but every watch you put on is a piece of shit. And you're like, God damn it. All these watches suck. And so you see Johnny's watches, and you're like, oh, Johnny's watches, I'm going to try that. Sounds like a nice guy, Johnny. You're maybe envisioning a white man who's got a suit on and Johnny and watches, and you're a white guy. And then you buy Johnny's watch, and then you find out at some point that it's actually some guy from India, or it's a black guy, it's a black John, or something like that. And what happens is in your brain, you know, that person who's a little bit prejudiced or a little bit tribal or a little bit, maybe a little racist or tribal or prejudiced or whatever, they start, you know, gathering like, oh shit, that guy's, he's actually this really wealthy black man who had this great idea. And then they learn something about him, and then that puts it in their head, and that breaks down the walls of their prejudice slowly. But if originally it had said minority-owned Johnny's watches, that prejudiced guy or guy that was on the borderline about where he shops and buys things goes, fucking minority owned. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to try that. And they go away. Now, you can say that guy's a racist or whatever. Fine. But the bottom line is you were going to break down his barrier a little bit through showing him. And it's just, you know, it's unfortunate that's the way the world is, but that's what it is. It's like when you're the first guy in the neighborhood who's white or black or Asian or whatever.
I was just going to bring up that story. I mean, perfect. We were all young, 6
Kid
or 7.
does something funny.
I moved into this neighborhood when I was 5, actually. And, you know, it's funny. I moved away and then ended up moving back. It's kind of funny the way life works out sometimes. But I remember, you know, me and all of my friends growing up, guys and girls together, everybody playing, brothers, sisters alike, everybody having a good time. And neighbors and I playing outside, riding bikes, and we had the first black kid, Austin, that moved in just a few houses down. And I remember all of us being like, "Oh wow, you know, this is great." So, you know, we asked him, we knocked on the door, we're like, "You want to come outside and play?" And he was a little hesitant at first, but then he came out and he was like, "Oh, you guys are pretty cool." And then we were playing jump rope, and we tied him to the tree out back, and we beat the shit out of him. I mean,
my God, what the hell?
That was just to welcome him to the neighborhood. We did this with everybody.
So oh my God, into a tree? That's terrible. Like you did that now. You guys
we had to jump him into the neighborhood. You know,
oh
really,
my God.
We had Austin, and he fit right in. And it was like nobody saw color then. When we were kids,
he did. He was like, not a tree again. This is.
We were honestly taught not to look at color. Color didn't matter.
Well, then you're racist.
Everybody's the same.
Well,
now they want you to view everyone's differences and they celebrate everyone's differences, but that just divides everyone.
You were ignoring it before, Jake. You racist idiot.
Yeah, I ignored skin color and made everyone feel treated equally.
That's what Brandy Rhodes told her husband.
That's how you do it evilly.
Brandy Rhodes said that. I'm just repeating.
And that's when she ended racism with their mulatto baby.
Exactly. And now she's but listen, my point about that was more like, you know, when the kid comes in the neighborhood who's different, like white, black, Asian, whatever. He's the first kid of that color. That was honestly true.
No,
but
and
what I mean is
played with Austin, he got accepted and there was no issue. But
I'm saying it's more like when you have to do something to get like the kids, like everyone's like, nah, we're not going to accept this person. But then you do something funny, or you have a talent, or you have some kind of thing, and that opens the door. Like at first, all they saw was you're different, we're not going to accept you. But then I say something funny and crazy, and people are like, oh man, Dan's crazy, like Joe's crazy. Like, you know, this guy's actually funny as fuck. Listen to this white kid, he's funny.
That was the same thing with him, because he really liked the video games. He was big into Mortal Kombat and something else, and we were like, "Oh, that's awesome! You play that? Well, why don't you come play?" You know, and that was how it started.
That's what I'm comparing.
At first, it was like everybody focuses on difference, especially as kids, and then you saw, oh wow, he is the same. He is just like us. He's awesome because he's playing the same video games, and he's got a really cool bike.
Bigger.
And, well, I mean, that was everybody in the neighborhood versus me.
But a much bigger peepee than you guys, though. Yeah, I sold. What did I tell you earlier, that I sold siding to a wrestling fan, and yeah, he said he hasn't watched wrestling since CM Punk.
I mean, even Tony Khan said Raw sucked last night. He said, if you don't believe me, go home, go watch we're gonna have the better show on Friday. If you don't believe me, go watch the Go Home show for Raw they did last night because it sucked.
It's been a great night. I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't wait to see you again. Happy anniversary!
You go get him, Tony. Tony Khan.
Super chat party!
While The Rock is rapping to Tech 9.
Oh, yeah?
Joe and Jake, do any of you watch One Piece or read manga?
Leah reads manga a little bit, and I don't know what One Piece is.
No, I'm not really much into anime. I don't read One Piece. I don't really read manga. My good friend that actually just moved away today, he was huge into anime. He
read MAGA.
Anime. I was big into MAGA. He was big into manga. So
humongous.
Yeah, humongous. That's what it was too.
Thank you, D. D, you're the man. My wife
He's
does.
big into Dragon Ball Z and Bleach and all those different animations.
Super chat party!
I never got into DBZ.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Is it true that the original Home Alone kid get brutality molested and thus is why he was crazy?
Not really. Didn't they think that Michael Jackson got the Macaulay Culkin? But that never.
That was the thought.
Yeah, he is very eccentric, kind of weird, but I don't know. He doesn't really. He's not that bad of a life, but I think he's also good at hiding how weird he is.
Oh no, he had that really weird like band and the whole pizza project, and
I think
he's had some very outlandish stuff.
He's a big wrestling fan.
He's a huge wrestler.
Oh
okay,
shit!
Here we go. Everyone knows I'm out the window. Yep, yo, motherfucker,
here we go.
No romance, cause there ain't no chance in my happy pants. Could you perchance come and take this dance and leave me here? I'm a bad motherfucker, ain't got no fear. What the time? What's the time, motherfucker? Time, motherfucker. Put it in a happy rhyme, motherfucker. It's clock o'clock. Bang, bang, tick tock. Frog in a sock. Oil shock. 2 on consignment, 1 in stock. What's the time, motherfucker? Said clock o'clock. I said clock o'clock.
John Gruden was framed.
John Gruden was framed, Cow Palace Dave. Well, I'll tell you what, the Raiders season is screwed. There's probably a bunch of Raiders players who want him to stay. I don't know if that's true, but you know what I mean? There's probably like a bunch of the players, probably black players, who are like, no, like fuck no. Like, we're going to have to learn all, like, we're fucked. No, maybe I'm wrong, though.
You might be right. You never know. What if people didn't like him? You're like, oh, now we have no chance.
Yeah, we're fucked now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I used to get happy down there from WWE Women's entrance videos from the SmackDown vs. Raw games.
SmackDown vs. Raw games. That was like around the Stacy Keibler times, right? I don't know.
Yeah. I remember the first time you could play a bra and panties match in the game. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was still young. I had to be like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
That was like, prime immaturity, boob real estate. Oh, it was great.
Mine was Laura Croft at that time, but yeah, it was.
Oh, that. Remember the infamous nude cheat and all that? It would only work with Game Genie, but yeah.
Yeah, they used to put her in game. Oh, Gentle on James. How you doing?
Super chat party!
Yeah. Boom.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Hit that sub button down
Gabby
below.
Petito is hot. Knock the dust off.
Yeah, she wasn't stabbed or anything.
Oh.
She was just strangled. So she's in really good condition.
Oh.
I'm sure we could just put her in a sauna and that would make her feel lifelike, right?
Oh.
Or if we dip her in a hot tub.
I wonder
like a
where.
Stew.
Shut up, you filthy animal.
Oh. I wonder how many different animals got to her before they found her.
Well, laundry was one.
Okay.
And then
Coyote.
Coyote was 2. The bunny rabbits that were in her sniz were 3 and 4.
Oh.
The squirrel that ate out her snatch was number 5. And the skunk that finished in her asshole was 6.
I want to know what John Gruden's wife looks like.
Oh, yeah?
She's black, actually.
WWE rebooting Katie Vick's storyline with Gabby Petito.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Mr. Pico Boulevard. What's up? What's up, Finn?
I wish I had Robux.
You wish you had Robux?
No, Robux.
Robux?
He's married to Cindy Gruden.
I wish I had some Robux.
She's blonde and pretty much exactly what you thought she would look like.
Oh, okay. Like a
Housewives
trashy
of-
old cheerleader used to look.
Yeah, the classic housewives of reality TV. You know, she's blonde with the makeup and
Looks like my little lass needs a shaving.
wonderful description there. Blonde
The
with makeup.
almighty
You
weed
get my
god is
point.
here. Shout out to my Nichols in DA chat and my Nickel
Whoa.
Jake. You're looking great, man. Much love, Joe. Great show. Bring Gruden to Detroit. Miguel 420.
Hey, happy birthday, Miguel. And MAGA 420 says Nikki J, the weed god. He must be a big Gruden fan.
He
Probably.
must be, but what's going
Yeah,
on?
he does. He
Nikki?
wants him to come to Detroit. See, Nikki J is like, oh, what? He's homophobic and maybe racist a little bit. Oh, let's bring him to Detroit.
I lost even more weight. I'm down to 239 now.
Damn, you're catching up.
I fit into an extra large shirt.
You'll never catch my 217.
Yeah, give me 2 weeks.
Come and get some.
We'll see. We'll see. Might be even less.
Super chat party.
Christopher Young. Too young.
Oh, yeah?
Seeing Ed Jake DeMarco back makes a hashtag terrific Tuesday.
Ah, Christopher, you're too kind. I'm happy to be here. I've missed you all like crazy. You guys have been a huge driving force. Unfortunately, I've been staying off. Well, fortunately, I've been staying off of social media, but I have this like inane guilt because now I have so many messages between birthday and people. Like I have like 300 people that I probably
you don't
need to
even.
write back.
You just keep putting it down every time you look at you. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
and it's just then I feel guilty for not getting back to people, and then it just builds more into this like anxiety fest. Forget it at that point. I can't keep up, and I
You need
better
to
just
get one of
let it go
those
and start fresh.
No, you
But
need to get on one of those like one of those third party things where you can click on the thing and then
Like
you
a
can
mass reply?
Yes, you can do a mass reply DM and just be like, "Hey, thanks so much. Sorry, I just got back to this now. I can't say too much. I'm going through so many messages, but like I just saw yours and I thank you so much and I hope you're doing well." And that's
Yeah.
it. And you send it to everybody and nobody knows. You just send it to
But
like
I feel so like a fraud doing.
Yeah, I don't
that,
do
you
that
know,
either,
like-
but it's like I
but
used to.
It's better than not saying anything at times, but it's because my problem initially is that I had no service because being so close to radiology, I couldn't even connect to their Wi-Fi, nothing. Then being in mid-state, I didn't have my phone for the first few days, and I was too sick anyways to even function. And then towards the end, when I finally did get my phone, thankfully they let me on their Wi-Fi, but it was at like the end of the last day, so it was kind of pointless at that time.
Oh yeah.
So I was just like, forget it, whatever. People understand, but it's still, it sucks to not keep in touch with everybody.
That's not true. I was 227 pounds in the wiffle ball video, and now I'm down to 217. So that's no. But here's the thing, I was 214, but I'm back to 217. So I got to get down even more. But no, yeah, the wiffle ball video.
That's healthy though. If you lost 10 pounds pretty quick.
But the 3 weeks. But the wiffle ball video,
that's good.
That's what made me go, I got to lose weight right now. Because I was like, oh my God, dude, what is going on? Like
I'm
I
just
look
gonna
like a
strap
fat.
more bands around myself and I'll be good.
I look like a hamburglar person or something. Like I was like,
So
what
I can
is?
still flap away. That's my.
Oh my God, bro! I need to lose 20 more pounds. Look at that.
Look at that. That's awful.
I'd like to rip that off of your arm and then beat you with it. Like
right? Somebody rip it off and stitch me back.
I'm gonna
up.
beat you with your own hide. It was great.
Now
and listen,
I think if I can have Courtney just kind of pull all the excess behind me back and kind of like just keep twisting it, then it'll really like tighten everything like a skin, facelift.
No, do like the Strangeland thing and cut holes in both sides of the skin and then clamp them together.
Ooh,
That's That's super cheap, dude. Cut hole, pierce your back in a certain way, and then get those rings and put those rings down your back like a spine.
Yeah, and then a bit of a cosmetic makeover. Yeah, and Bullfrog weighs 240, just like you said. Yep, I still don't believe it. Even if he's that short, but
yeah,
it's not happening. But lo and behold, so last night they go ahead and they're like, just come and stay in because at least we can hydrate you and medicate you, and you'll be here for the morning. And then I have this morning happen, and they're like, oh, well, the doctor ends up having to have emergent surgery, so we're just going to send you home, and you can come back and do it next Tuesday.
Wow.
So I spent pretty much the whole night awake waiting there just to be like, we'll have you come back next week for nothing.
Damn.
So, yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah,
I'm on a new vitamin, though, so
what's
vitamin Big Dick Energy.
Vitamin P? Oh, yeah, vitamin P.
No, they put me on a new type of vitamin A. I have to be on 10,000 micrograms of it a day now.
What the hell?
Yeah, I have a very massive deficiency, so.
I just don't I can't fit into enough clothes. That's another big thing. Like all my old sales clothes from when I used to do jobs like that I do now, I used to, like, they're all young, like tiny size. Like, so I just can't fit in anything. So I'm out there and I'm like, look like an idiot. And it's ridiculous how big
you don't want to have the buttons hold on for dear life, like you're trying to rock climb the face of a mountain. You're holding on like, oh God, come on, the button's just holding on. That you don't want that where you sit and you might take out an old lady's eye if a button pops off. You don't want to be in those predicaments. Those are bad.
Yeah, that's no good. I just don't like the big fat stomach that I have and like the weird look. I don't like what's going on. It's all in my stomach. It's all around my stomach.
I just always hated when things looked stretched or you didn't fit in it right. So the buttons would pull and you would have that opening in between and like a button-up shirt.
Right.
That would drive me nuts. That little gap that would come, that little pussy flap, and things of that nature. So
yeah, the reason why I looked fatter in the chin, Antoine, is because I just shaved, dude.
Yeah, the lack of facial hair always makes me as well look younger and
that's what's terrible is I just lost 10 pounds. In the last 2 weeks, I lost 10 pounds, but I just shaved my face today. So when I shave my face, I look fatter now. Like but when I have the stubble on my face, like just yesterday, pull up the video from yesterday, and it's like I look different. And so it's like, that's why I don't shave usually. I just leave it because it's like looks a little bit better.
I can't use a razor to shave because of the blood thinners anymore, so I have to go ahead and just stick to the electric razor.
You get like blood just just shooting out everywhere, just like.
Just for one of the IVs that came out of me accidentally, I was like, usually I never bleed. Every time they go to put Band-Aids on me, I'm like, don't bother. I'm just going to rip off more hair. So I just started the heparin drip hours before, and I'm like, oh, don't worry about the Band-Aid. I said I'll be fine. She's like, well, we should put one anyways. She put the Band-Aid on. Next thing I know, I lift my hand up. The Band-Aid is soaked, and I mean soaked. So I put my hand down on it. There was blood everywhere, almost as the diarrhea story, but just with blood now, because I couldn't get it to stop. So finally I had to hold pressure, hold it above my heart. It took me like a good 5 or 6 minutes to get it to finally calm down. But at that point in time, it had dripped down my arm everywhere. I wasn't expecting it. So I just had blood all over this, once white emergency room. Terrible. Imagine being a girl.
You fat bastard! I can almost do fat bastard. I've got the turtle head poking it.
Got the turtle head poking.
I'm trying to be as fat as I can be. But yeah, so I need to lose about.
Troy clean shaven. I couldn't picture.
Oh no, he looks like a pedo. If I can lose 20 or 30 more pounds, Jake, I could look like Gruden. I think
now. Ooh.
I think I could look like Gruden. I could
coach official. I could see that. That's a good look.
I think I could do it.
Minus all the homophobic and gay slurs.
Well, but not really.
Well, in the emails between us, but not publicly.
Yeah, there's no emails, yeah. He's definitely, he's always had that creepy hair of, the bully kid next door whose mom was like, don't worry, Johnny. Miss Johnny Gruden, don't you worry, Johnny P. Gruden. We'll get you the birthday cake. Batman!
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat that kid's face in. He's Lorca smells. I don't know. He just got this weird hair.
His mom was like, no, but you're special, baby, and one day you're gonna be in power and you'll get them all. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
See, I think I could get on Gruden's level. Look. Just lose another 10 pounds.
But you're far sexier. The crow's feet he has in the corner with the blonde hair sets me off.
Man, he's tasty.
Oh, motherfucker, here we go. Everyone knows I'm out the window. Yep. Yo, motherfucker,
here we go.
No romance, cause there ain't no chance in my happy pants. Could you perchance come and take this dance and leave me here? I'm a bad motherfucker, ain't got no fear. What the time was the time, motherfucker? Time, motherfucker. Put it in a happy rhyme, motherfucker. It's clock. Bang, bang, tick tock. Frog in a sock. Oil shock. 2 on consignment, 1 in stock. What's the time, motherfucker? Said clock. I said clock.
If John Gruden was fired or forced to resign, then Joe Biden should be impeached or forced to resign for his blatant racism and racist comments routinely made during the election. Dems are hypocrites.
There is no doubt about it that they are hypocrites. You ain't black if you don't vote for me. I'll never understand it, man. I think this country is full of idiots.
Yeah, no shit.
Joe Biden.
Super chat party.
Jim S. What's up, Jim?
Oh, yeah?
Hey, baby.
Welcome back, Jake.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you, Jim.
Give him some love. We got to wrap up in a second, so we're going to play the rest of these. And
yeah, got to
get the hell out of here.
Up early, and poor Danny's back with another sinus infection too. She's
That's
still
what
waiting
Finn
to get
has.
that sinus surgery, but
Finn's got that too, man. I took him to the doctor earlier.
Yep, I had to do it with Danny earlier too. So.
Oh yeah, we both took our kids to the doctor for the same thing. They keep kicking Finn out of school because they're like, you got a cough, you got to go home.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Danny was home today too. Same kind of idea.
They tested him like
well, what do you know?
People out.
We got ourselves a new member.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
And I got a member in my pants.
Mickey K9 just became a member again. Yo, Mickey K9, thank you so much for doing that, man. We'll be back tomorrow with the AEW review. Or wait a minute, is there Dynamite tomorrow?
No, there's not actually.
There's no Dynamite.
Funny enough.
So I'll be doing something, but it won't be Dynamite.
Yeah, we'll be together. We'll definitely do something fun. But
we'll be together?
Yes, you and I. And maybe we'll have a few special guests.
Chat party!
The Villain with a super chat.
Oh, yeah?
You saw the new acclaimed rap on Rampage.
I did not. I'm going to check it out. We'll talk about it tomorrow, The Villain. Yo, everybody knows you're out the window. No, I did not see it. We got to check that out. We did hear from Tony Khan earlier, though.
Philadelphia, it's been a great night. I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't wait to see you again. Happy anniversary!
No. The Villain, thanks for the $5. Thank you to Tony Khan for being insane. And thanks to all you guys for hitting the like button down below, hitting the sub button if you're new. And we talked about a lot of stuff tonight. There's a lot of stories I left on the table, so maybe some more tomorrow night on Wednesday. Thank you for being here, man. Jake is...
Yeah, absolutely. I know tomorrow night, we'll have Out of Nowhere Thursday, but tomorrow night we'll definitely get into more, since Dynamite's on Saturday. And we'll cover a few other stories, too. I'll be more prepared. Tonight was a bit thrown together, but...
I got a pretty funny IRS story I didn't tell tonight.
I know. I wanted to hear that as well.
Kind of funny.
We got sidetracked. So
it's funny because of what happened to my poor mother. That's what's funny.
Oh.
It's not even about me.
Poor mom.
Real good stuff. You guys all keep it wet. Keep it hard. Hit me up. Especially if you're, I don't know, man. I did a sales training thing the other day. It was hilarious. I want to talk about that. I might talk about that tomorrow because it was really funny.
Oh, I got to hear about that.
I really like sales training.
You need is sales training.
I love sales training. I'm giving it. I was giving it.
Oh, okay.
Giving the sales training.
If you're teaching, yeah.
It's really funny, man. It was one guy's like, I can't figure out why no one's buying this thing. And I'm like, take a look. And I was out in the field with him. And I watched him pitch this reflective siding and roofing tile.
Oh, God.
It was hilariously retarded. I loved it. Anyway, guys.
I can only imagine.
It should have been on video. It should have been on video. The guy insulted the customer 2 times before it even got going.
And you wonder why you can't sell anything.
I
You stupid fuck! Why aren't you buying this?
I
You
almost,
need it.
dude, I almost died, and I was thinking about like when was the last time I saw someone get insulted like that, and coincidentally, it was Charlemagne.
Oh God!
Fucking Jordan. Speaking of sales, Jordan Belfort goes on the Charlemagne's thing or whatever the Breakfast Club, which I like those guys usually. And the whole time Charlemagne was just like an asshole idiot, and it's really ridiculous how bad he is to Belfort. And then the first thing he says though when he sits down, he goes, "Oh man, wow, yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio looks a lot better than you." Like it was just weird. It wasn't like it was a joke, but the whole time he was weird like that. And then that was just the weirdest, was how like you sit, the first thing you do when you're sitting down is be like, "Oh wow, man, you don't look as good."
Really, what I taught all these.
Where is
Well,
it?
you have a new book out, Way of.
Played in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Right.
Leo is way more better looking than you.
Dude, that's such an awkward way to open up.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So I only saw this because I told the guy that I was training to go watch a bunch of videos of this guy, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, "Watch Charlemagne." Like, you just sat down to sit with this guy. And by the way, the comments are filled with everybody shitting on Charlemagne. Like, everybody just shitting on him. Like, what a piece of shit. And he is a lot of times, but this is just amazing. Listen to how this is the worst ever.
Leo is way more better looking than you.
That's only my mother says not. Everyone says.
No, that's a joke, but like it's like I know it's a joke, and I love jokes, obviously, but that's a rough one to start with. Like the guy first sits down, you don't really know him, and you go, "Yeah, that guy who played you is way better looking than you." Like that's that's more of a joke that you would make. Like that's a joke you would make if the movie was about you, and you go, "So how about the movie, blah blah blah," and then you say, "Oh, yeah, well, first of all, Leonardo DiCaprio is much better looking than me. Obviously, you probably noticed that, that type of thing." But instead, that guy says it. I don't know. It's just fucking so weird. I'm like, oh my God, he got burned. Anyway, tomorrow there's a bunch of stuff to talk about, guys. I'll tell my IRS story, tell a funny sales story from today. And we'll talk wrestling. Some more wrestling news will come out hopefully tomorrow. And hopefully you guys get all wet and weird. And Tony Khan, take us away. Thanks to Jake. Hit him up on Twitter at Countdown Ended. And fill up his DMs with more uncomfortable things he can't respond to.
Thank you so much, Philadelphia. It's been a great night. I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't wait to see you again. Happy anniversary!
Stay sexy. Locate Tony Khan's balls, somebody. We're out. Good night.